Oh. I don't see how we can make bigger enemies.
To be offended or frightened of everything.
So you've become like the sort of Tony Scarface of podcasting.
He was shaking his titties like a fucking single mom trying to make rent. Welcome to the morning show. It's Wednesday. To my left, shaking his breastises, is the Poseidon 69. The Poseidon 69 can be found on the internet doing all the things with the kids. George coming in straight from the land of hard bros. Poseidon blocking my camera.
No, he's not blocking.
I know, I'm just fucking around. George, plug yourself today, because I don't want to.
All right, I'll plug. George.
Oh, he's here.
George Chandrizo's host. I don't have any aftershave.
You smell nice.
George, thank you. It's my natural. It's my natural scent.
Eau de Pantelis.
Sorry, I was late. The parking lady was letting me know something you guys didn't let me know. That someone killed himself where I fucking park every day.
She told me also.
Wait, what?
Yesterday, yeah, we'll talk about that later.
What the fuck?
You guys could at least warn me that
I
there's
didn't know.
there's impending doom.
I found out this morning.
Oh, she told me you
When
found out
did this
yesterday.
happen?
Yesterday.
Someone off themselves?
We'll talk about it later. George Chandrizos, the man from Broadstar, bringing us the news over here. Host of Just Us Dads. What a great fucking podcast Just Us Dads is. We're here. I'm here with Phil. Producer on the chair right now is Mr. Poseidon, the Poseidon 69 himself. Patreon.com/Pantelis for all of my stuff. I just got the final render of the tour/album art. And Poseidon, how's it look?
Bro, it's looking fantastic.
It looks fan-freaking-tastic. George, we got heavy-hitting news. A lot of stuff happened yesterday. Are we coming out of this? Are we going in deeper? You let us know.
Are we coming out or going in deeper? That was a great way to set it up. What's going on, everyone?
Good. I'm just trying to get my headphones to hear you better here.
Wrong
Because Poseidon might be the biggest piece of garbage I've ever met in my life. He keeps fucking with me every time I come in this goddamn studio.
Wrong headphones.
Wrong headphones? Yeah. All right. How are the wrong headphones? All four should be correct.
What is happening here?
What?
Because people don't like to use them, so they all just throw them on the fucking chairs.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you, why didn't you fix them?
Yeah.
Because I
Let George start. I don't know why George is waiting.
George, you can go. I'm gonna fucking...
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hell de Poseidon, bro. Come on.
Poseidon,
I'm
bro.
embarrassed for you, bro.
Isn't that the most Parkex thing ever? Bro.
I'm angry. I'm angry at him. I hate it when he does shit half-assed.
He had to choose between put everything in order or running to the bathroom literally 2 minutes before we went live.
Yeah, the situation is you don't let people do that shit.
He chose the latter.
He chose violence.
All right, let us know the news. I can still hear you, George.
Yeah, we're good. You go.
Yeah, so what's going on, guys? Everything okay?
Yeah, we're good.
People, what do you talk? Like, people are dying in your garage? Like, what the fuck?
Hey, look, man, we're not talking about that right now. You bring us the news. You don't talk my personal stuff. Just tell us what the hell happened yesterday at Capitol Hill.
Don't talk about my personal things and what I did last night. Well, since we're talking about murders and attempts and all that kind of stuff, we'll start off very lightly today. No. We're not going to talk about Trudeau yet. It's funny because yesterday I was on the phone with Pantelis around 4 o'clock. We left the house. I had to drop off the kids on my in-laws. And I'm seeing a bunch of cops everywhere.
At their real parents?
Literally, like next to my house. They're on Rome and Marie Victorin, like the 132. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Cordoned off. So my wife was looking on, she Googled it. And this is like straight out of a movie. So there's this guy, there's a car parked. There's like a little strip mall there. There's a gas station. There's a Tim Hortons. There's like a bunch of little restaurants and stuff over there. So a car is parked over there. Apparently, a guy got shot. He was sitting in the passenger seat. He got 2 bullets to the chest. And it was crazy. I was like, oh, shit, this never happens, man. Like, we never get this kind of action down here. So then we get on the highway. We're going west to Candiac, where my in-laws are. And right before the exit to Candiac, there's another, I don't know how many cop cars. I'm like, what the hell is happening over here? And I'm like, $10 bet this is related. My wife is like, oh, come on, it's impossible. I'm like, there's no way there's this much action happening in the South Shore that are different events, right? I'm like, for sure this is related to the Brossard one. Maybe they chased a guy down here and they stopped him in Candiac. In any case, a couple hours later, my wife is still looking at the information. And here's what happened, guys, straight out of a movie. So there's a shooting that happens in Brossard. And then the guy takes off in a car. And another car runs after him. And don't they start shooting each other on the highway?
GTA Brossard.
Look, I'm just going to say one thing, George. I don't appreciate your rat attitude, just ratting people out.
No, but I find it amazing because then, I mean, the news came out afterwards and they're talking to the officials in Brossard and they're like, listen, these things don't happen here. We have anywhere between 0 to 5 deaths in the last murders in the last 5 years. So it just goes to show you how really, nothing happens. But I just find it amazing how.
Yeah, Poseidon, hold on one second. Poseidon, you've thrown him off. You've thrown me up. Or what the fuck's wrong with you? What are you doing for an hour? All right, sorry, George.
Let's take a shit.
So yeah. Right into the microphone.
Much.
What?
I hate you so much.
Why?
I just do. I fucking hate everything about you. Your weird breast that you were shaking, the anus stories you told me when we got here, your weird swollen eye from fingering it with the same finger you scratch your ass with. It's fucking, you look like a retarded gay pirate.
Yeah, for real though, Poseidon's reaching new lows on the morning show every episode.
I can't even.
He sleeps in an hour. The last one, he comes in, shits himself. This one, it's horrible.
That mid-morning show though, wow.
All right, nature calls, bro. What do you want me to do?
I need to go to the bathroom too, but I'm sitting here.
I'm fucking human, bro.
There's a lot of Parkex in this episode, bro. Hell out of bro.
So people were shooting each other, George, but there's more important things happening.
Rape in the metaverse. Is that it?
No.
Oh.
There are more important things happening, George. Justin Trudeau, his troops are crumbling around him.
Mutiny on the bounty,
I was going to leave that for later, but let's bring it on because this is huge news, and this happened yesterday in the morning. So on Monday, I get this tweet on my notification, my feed there. Joël Lightbound was calling the media to a press conference, and I thought, this is fucking weird. I mean, the guy's not a minister.
Got a great name though.
He does have a cool name.
Yeah, he has a cool name. So I got this notification. I'm like, what is he announcing? Like, this is strange. Like, he's not a cabinet minister. And it was specific. It said that, he calls the media to a press conference related to the pandemic. I'm like, what the hell?
That
he has nothing to do with this.
For a sitting member of parliament who's not a minister to just call a press conference. Does that happen? I've never heard of that.
No, it's very rare. Normally, like when
it's a free country, anyone can call a press conference. I have called many press conferences.
They can call a press conference. It's very strange, obviously, especially when it has nothing to do with whatever responsibilities they have. And the fact is that he doesn't have any responsibilities. He was the chair
what
of
do we pay him for?
He was the chair of the Quebec caucus. So for all the MPs that were from Quebec, they have their own separate caucus, and he was the chair of that caucus. So aside from that, he didn't have any other responsibilities. And I thought, look, this is weird. It'd be crazy for him to announce that he's resigning, because normally that's what happens when out of the blue they call a press conference when they have zero responsibilities. It's usually related to something like that. Mm-hmm. And I thought that's impossible. He's one of the he's a main figure in Justin Trudeau's caucus. Joël Lightbound, and for those who don't know, he's the guy that they always send to do all the media stuff. Like he knows his stuff very well. He's a great communicator. He's a great debater, and he was the guy that was usually always like front and center. They always used him to promote the government's positions, and he was the media guy. He was the face of the Liberal Party of Canada to the media. So I found it very strange. And in any case, so yesterday around 10:30, I think there was a press conference. I missed it, so I got the news like about an hour later. And he came out categorically against his government's position and management of the pandemic, which it was my jaw dropped. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Of all people, Joël Lightbound to come out against his against his caucus, and not for anything, specifically on the way that the pandemic has been managed by his own government.
He broke ranks, George. That's it. He broke ranks. The guy's like, I can't sleep at night anymore. Plus, I want to be trending.
So look, let's just tell people that are watching. First of all, it takes a lot of courage to break ranks with your caucus. It doesn't always happen. It has happened. I mean, it's not uncommon. But it takes a lot of courage because don't forget, I mean, you're a team. You're like a little family on the hill. I mean, there's a lot of peer pressure. You wanna
it's incestuous and abusive, but whatever. You're like a family.
No, I mean, you know how, especially the tradition here in Canada. I mean, the MPs and even the provincial members of Parliament, whether they're in Ontario like MLAs or MNAs over here in Quebec, they stick to the lines. They stick to the party lines, and there's usually this spirit of solidarity and collaboration. And even if you disagree, at the end of the day, when you come out of those doors from the caucus, the message is usually unified, right? Everyone kind of has the same message. So the fact that he came out and broke ranks was really amazing. So just for those who haven't seen it, and if you want to see it, I mean, Pantelis shared a link on Twitter where you have his full statement in English, so you can go check it out.
I'm a reporter.
The guy basically started out, first of all, by denouncing all the acts of violence and all, the racist stuff that we've seen during the last couple of days.
The blackface.
In the demonstrations. So he kind of separated himself immediately from everything that's been going on.
Brown face. A lot of them.
So denouncing everything that he's seen. And then he went step by step on criticizing his government by providing facts. And the guy basically just said, listen, I spent the last couple of months talking with a lot of my constituents. There's a lot of messages and emails and phone calls that my office has been getting. And he enumerated a lot of them. And he was it was such a carefully drafted statement that he made. Let me just get the points over here so that I don't waste anyone's time.
So he came out speaking against his own government.
So there were a few lines. Basically, one, the fact that the government right before the election and during the election campaign changed dramatically its message, and it was no longer a message of uniting Canadians and doing this together and we're all in this together. All the those messages, all those key messages that we were used to hearing from Trudeau, and it became one of really us versus them. If you don't get vaccinated, you're part of them. And it was, he believes, was an attempt to really just divide the population and to polarize the society. And he really obviously didn't appreciate that. He also mentioned that we're going counter to the recommendations of our health professionals. And he mentioned specifically a very well-respected microbiologist who specializes in infectious diseases here in Quebec, in Montreal, Dr. Carl Weiss, who's very often on the radio. For people that listen to the French radio, they've definitely heard him, who have been for weeks now saying that the government should make a plan and advise people on how we're supposed to be living with this virus. We have to make people understand that from here on, we're going to let everyone get their freedoms back, get back to our normal life, and they have to make people aware that, listen, you will contract the virus at some point. You're going to go to the grocery store, or you're going to go to some event, or you're going to go to some person's house for a visit, or whatever it is that you're going to do. You're going to be around people. There are chances that you might get infected, and just tell the people that, listen, if you want the symptoms to be as not noticeable, get vaccinated. If you don't get vaccinated, then chances are that the symptoms may be a little bit harsher. So he's been saying for weeks now that the government should adopt that kind of approach and get people to get accustomed to living with this virus. And Joël Lightbound referred to him. He also referred to Canada's chief medical officer, Theresa Tam, who also has been saying that there's no longer any it is no longer justified to keep these measures. For example, the vaccine passport, or other restrictions. For example, crossing the border into the U.S. So obviously the federal government, Justin Trudeau specifically, has been disagreeing with her and kind of contradicting her. But here's the thing: she's the health expert, not Justin Trudeau.
But that's what I've been telling people. He keeps saying follow the science, and then that's why I tweeted. I lost my mind yesterday with him, and I was very aggressive.
You've had some pretty, as the youth say, fire tweets.
I have had some fire tweets. tweets, but he pissed me off because he's like, we're just following the science. No, the science, even your own people. That's why the guy Lightbound had his own press conference. He's telling you, dude, the World Health, you're not listening to science. You're just so used to having this power. Now that the truckers are angry, you don't want to lose face. You have this ego, and you don't want to say, yeah, they're right, we should back down. And he keeps doubling down. The guy said, stop with these dumb labels of white supremacist on Indians and all that stuff. And what does he do? The next thing he does is, we gotta stop these fanatics.
Look, Pantel, I want to get back to the strategy that Justin Trudeau is using, and I think it's going to backfire. But let's just finish with what Lightbound said, because he had a couple main points. One, and this is not what he thinks, right? He says, listen, this is what I hear, and this is what I'm reporting. And when I see what the health experts are saying, and when I see what the World Health organization is doing, and what other countries in the world have been doing, it just doesn't match up.
George, what about other provinces? Look at Alberta.
Yeah, but that came out yesterday, so I'm not so sure that while he was preparing this statement, this was already being prepared. So I'm putting that aside.
Saskatchewan.
But essentially what he said, first of all, he mentioned a very well-known fact that parents are so much more worried now than they were 2 years ago about their kids' health. Mental health has played a huge part in this thing. He's heard of doctors being worried about where the kids are going and how the situation in families has evolved in the last 2 years.
Deteriorated.
He mentioned the fact that we forced kids to be locked up in rooms and houses because they had to be kind of in quarantine for 10 days, even though they were testing negative and they were asymptomatic. Why did we decide, and why did we tell parents to do that to little kids like 6 to 10 years old? So that was another thing that worried him. He said that, listen, the reality of this pandemic is that we're not all equal to this pandemic. There are some people that are much more well off than others that can spend their time in a chalet in front of a MacBook to work. Other people
I love how he talks so much shit about my friends.
So other people don't have that luxury. So we have to take into account these inequalities that exist in our society, and we can't just think that it's easy for everyone to live like this for all this time that we've been going through it. And the other big hit was on the health on the health sector. He said, "Listen, we can make all these measures. We can look at how it impacts the different provinces in terms of death rates and infections and all that stuff. At the end of the day, however, the one constant that we've been seeing the last 2 years is how ill-prepared our hospitals are."
Oh, stop, George! I can't handle this stupidity.
With your fucking conspiracy theories.
No. We're finally seeing how. Dude, we've known for 20 years how unprepared they are. We keep bringing up the same moot point.
Of course we've known, but his main point was like we have been so concentrated on limiting people's freedoms and on figuring out what's best and what isn't, and what's the next strategy, instead of thinking, let's take care of our hospital system. And he destroyed his own government by refusing to make the health transfers that Justin Trudeau actually promised during the campaign, in which every single premier of every single province has been requesting to the government. So why are we delaying in transferring these funds to the provinces that they have been requesting in order to kind of beef up their hospitals and for them to kind of be better equipped in the last 2 years? So that was a huge hit. And then the last one that he mentioned, of course, there was more. Guys, go and listen to the video for yourselves, but these are the main points. The main one was that this approach that his government has adopted before the campaign and during the campaign, which made him kind of distance himself, was the fact that it has created so much division in Canadian society. And he couldn't take it, and it's been weeks and months that he's been reflecting on this. And he came out against his own government. It didn't appear for him to have been a very difficult decision. But one thing he said, however, and this is what we were speaking about with Pantelis on the phone a lot the other day, is that he didn't come out as just Joël Lightbound saying, this is what I think. He was very, very, and that's why I'm saying it was a very carefully drafted statement in which he said that, listen, I'm alone today talking to you, the media, but rest assured, I'm not alone in caucus who believes this. And I think this was the ace in his sleeve, so that he could kind of strategically place himself in a position where it would be very difficult for the caucus to kind of eject him. Because normally when I mean, it has happened. In my experience, I've seen that when this sort of thing happens, automatically you can expect, that person to be ejected from caucus. It shouldn't, because people in caucus should be free to express themselves. But usually we have seen that. So the fact that he came out and said that, I'm not alone to think that, automatically it made the prime minister's office kind of panic, like, oh shit, who does he have? Who has he rallied and who is committed?
I hope he was bluffing just to see who will come out and break
I don't
ranks.
think so. And this is what we're saying.
I hope he will
Pantelis on the
not
phone
rile
yesterday.
up the ethnics.
I don't think he just
Why'd
woke
you
up and
say
said, you know what, I'm going to call the media to a press conference and express what I think. I think there was a lot of thought put into this before. I think he's
It did seem
consulted
very
with a lot of his
planned out on
colleagues.
his part.
He's gotten a lot of opinions, and I legitimately believe that obviously he's not the only one. I mean, in the caucus of I don't know how many he got elected, 130 or whatever, he got elected. He can't just be the only one that thinks this way. And I don't think that only like 5 or 10. I think there's a lot more than that.
But what's their game? What's their play, George? What are they going to do?
Well, the government whip came out yesterday with a tweet that I sent you guys, and he said, "Look, I spoke with Joël Lightbound. He disagrees with our policy, and he has offered to resign as the chair of the Quebec caucus, which means that he will no longer be responsible for that committee within that caucus."
Okay.
And it makes sense. But he remains in caucus, and he is fully cooperative to supporting the next caucus chair and whatever.
But George,
so they're
think about
keeping
it for a
him in
second.
caucus, which for me, I was convinced that they were going to eject him. But I was talking with Pantelis yesterday on the phone, and I thought, you know what, maybe because of the fact that he has indicated that there's way more people in the caucus that feel the way he does, that they probably won't. And that's exactly what happened. So they kept him in caucus. I feel like they did that specifically to avoid an internal crisis within the party. I don't think that's something that Justin Trudeau would want to be handling right now, in addition to everything else that is going on. So I think they played that right. They did that, I think, to just mitigate the attention that the media is going to have on this one issue. At the same time, now you have a problem. You have finally a clear indication publicly that you have a caucus that is divided. And there was a lot of speculation even before the election that Justin Trudeau's caucus was divided on a lot of issues. Now it's made public, and the face of this whole thing is Joël Lightbound, who is not a nobody in the caucus. He's a very important member of the caucus. And it's huge that he took this decision to step forward. So obviously, hats off to him for taking this step forward. I had a feeling that should the caucus decide to eject him, that many would actually use that as a pretext to come out and follow in his footsteps. So I think that it was the right decision to keep him.
George, hold on a second. Think about what you're saying, right? I understand that you're looking at it from using your years of experience in politics, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it from a purely PR perspective.
An elected member of parliament came out and said that my constituents have reached out to me and have concerns. For them to then eject him from his elected seat?
It would be disastrous.
Is this Uganda? Like, where do we fucking live?
It would be disastrous because a lot of people don't understand. And here's what happens, and I've seen this many times. You get elected, you go to parliament, and you think that you're above everything else. And you think that whatever decision we make, we will transfer that to the ridings or, to the ground.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's not like that. It's the opposite. You get elected to bring the message from the ground to the parliament and not the other way around.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. And that's why everyone is kind of congratulating him for taking that step. So
how could he be punished? How could he even be removed as chair of the Quebec caucus? It would be very difficult for him to keep that role when he is publicly opposing the strategy and the policy that his own government is putting forward. So it would have created kind of this malaise, to be in that position. I think we need a little malaise.
So I understand that. I was hoping that they would keep him. First of all, if he would, had he gotten, there was 3 scenarios that were going to play out before the government whip came out with that.
This whole
with that
fucking
statement.
story is mind blowing. The fact that Trudeau hasn't even truly addressed this publicly.
He didn't address
it with any substance. He's never said anything of substance since he was elected.
he avoided the question by saying, yeah, look, there's a lot of people that are frustrated, but we need to stay the course. And this is what I'm going to get back to. I'm going to get back to what Pantelis was saying in a second here, exactly what the strategy that he's taken, how wrong it is.
Angry.
But just to finish up with this thing, I mean, the things that I was thinking that, okay, there's three possibilities right now. Either Justin Trudeau ignores the whole thing, which would make him appear really weak. Number two, either he would boot him from caucus, which again would show
weakness, fear,
a very negative sign of him kind of rejecting anyone that stands against him. And we've seen that happen before, right, with Jody Wilson-Raybould and Jane Philpott.
Unless the people standing against him are like CSIS or internal audits or like the RCMP, then it's fine. He takes care of that real good.
Yeah. And then the third option would be for him to just admit that there's division in his caucus and throw in the towel and just resign, which would never happen. I don't think he would want to. He's a narcissist. Nobody would want to leave his political career on that note, right? So he needs right now to calm everyone down and to kind of get his people united. I don't think it's going to happen. And specifically now we're getting to what Pantelis was saying because of the very drastic positions that he's taken. Compare that to Premier Legault. I'm not saying that he's perfect, right? But first of all, he's a much more experienced politician. And he took on this pandemic with a much more careful approach. And he wasn't saying that this is the way, period. He was saying, and he came out in the beginning. You guys remember a year and a half ago, where he was publicly saying, "Look, we don't know, we don't have all the answers. We're going to make mistakes, and if we do make mistakes, we're going to accept them, and we're going to come back and we're going to explain." That was the perfect approach, and this is the only approach that you need to take because you need to have that that room to maneuver in case you were wrong to be able to backtrack.
But he's not doing that.
He's not doing that because I heard.
No, I'm comparing that to Legault because
we're talking about Legault. We're talking about Legault now.
Yeah,
Legault has never backtracked. Legault has
we're
made
get to that because yesterday he made an announcement saying that there's a plan now in place, and it's not because I don't think it's because this was part of the program. It's because he's seeing the revolt and everything that's happening publicly.
Not dissonance. Dissidence. That's what I meant.
Yeah, but the difference is that he left himself that leeway to do that. Justin Trudeau isn't. Justin Trudeau is so adamant about what he's doing that him tomorrow or in 2 days or even in a week coming out and saying, okay, well, look, we're going to, we're going to take this position or we're going to. I think that was from my computer. You heard that beep?
Yeah, it's okay. Jesus Christ. Well, Phil is like a cat. He panics like crazy. Calm down, bro.
Yeah. Sorry about that. So for him to do that, it would look so strange because he's making himself look so convinced that what he's doing is the right thing.
And I'm a cat.
Even though all his health experts are telling him to do a completely different approach, how can he possibly now, tomorrow, or by the end of this week, or even early next week, come out and say, all right, guys, well, the figures are better, in the last 3-4 days. We're going to remove the restrictions to cross the border. It's going to look so stupid, whereas Legault took a much better approach.
No, he didn't. Let's call a spade a spade. He didn't.
From a PR perspective, I'm not saying it was the right thing. It's just that he left himself the room to backtrack in case.
Yeah, but when he backtracks, he doesn't say we fucked up or we're changing course because it's just like, okay, now we're not going to do this.
For now. But the other thing is, George.
Before you go on, I was dying because as he's talking about how Trudeau is, I picture Trudeau in like a dark chamber in his Rideau home and he's putting on like black war paint and he's listening to like, I won't back down. So Johnny Cash and the truckers have it going, right? That's their anthem now. And
is it their anthem?
Yeah, it's been on that because I follow the actual account from the Freedom Convoy. The guys, I guess they're their PR team, and it's
they have a PR team.
Yeah, man.
I need a PR team.
Maybe
if I had a PR team, maybe I could raise $10 million.
What do you need to raise $10 million for? Tell me. Let's get it done.
We'll raise $10 million.
I have an easy solution. Patreon. Just make every subscription $10 million, bro. One guy comes in, you're done. Bam.
All right, you 10 millionaires. But what I was going to say, George, was here. First of all, the passport should be abolished. It's completely useless now, especially in a population with our vaccination rates. It's complete nonsense. Not only did I hear that might not get abolished, Poseidon informed me that his sources within the Quebec government claim that they're working on a universal digital passport here in Quebec.
Vaccines or a passport?
Everything. It's going to include all of your ID, your vaccination status, your marital status, whatever you want, so that we can inch closer to Carl Schwab's wish of a social credit system. Yep. This should scare the balls out of all of you.
How are those two things related? Hold on. I'm just going to
And
ask
they even admitted that they're the first ones in North America to be pushing for this, and they're very proud of it.
To be completely honest,
Fucking bitches.
the idea of a universal ID, like Europe has national IDs, right? You need them more or less to go everywhere.
You're misunderstanding. We have many IDs.
I'm just making a point. We don't really have a centralized form of identification that we need to carry with us all the time. I mean, you can carry your Medicare, I guess.
Driver's license.
But it's not like a centralized, like a Quebec citizen ID.
Yeah.
That on its own would not be a weird thing, right? Because it exists, and I mean, I understand you need identification sometimes. But what are you describing here?
Me?
Yeah, like
it's digital. It's not physical. It's digital. It's digital. It's everything all encompassed in one. So your vaccine passport, your driver's license, your passport, even they're saying everything all in this digital.
Because the idea of a centralized piece of ID that I already had, but now digital, I'm not against.
So here's the thing we talk about. It sounds convenient, right?
It's going to be your very own digital identification.
Yeah. Hold on, guys. It sounds convenient, right? Okay, it sounds very convenient up until you remember what happened last week with GoFundMe. What happened with Rogan.
Yep.
Until you realize that the second you say something they don't like, they can deplatform you, get rid of this. If a social credit, dude, if everything is based on your digital footprint and you're online, your whole life is online right now, you are stuck because the second you step out of line, magically, hey, you can't. How are you going to get in that store? Your shit doesn't work.
I'm not following you here.
Yeah.
I'm not understanding.
This is what they're doing in China.
The leap between.
Okay, so there's no leap between. What I'm telling you right now is already in practice in China.
That's fine.
How is that fine?
I mean, that part of your explanation I understand. I understand that China has a social credit system.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how this is the most devious thing they've done to get us there. Like, how does the ID help?
I never said it's the most devious thing they've done to get us there. I'm telling you, this is what they're planning.
But how does one apply to the others? What I'm asking.
Look, the argument that they're trying to make. I'll tell you. The argument they're trying to make is that in order for them to make sure that the vaccine passport remains forever, they're going to introduce. From what I understand,
that's what they're saying. Their argument is they're doing this for that reason. What I'm trying to say is this is just social credit system. Yeah. The initial stage, because it's right along the lines of what China already has in place.
You're saying that the vaccine passport, for example, is like the first step towards.
No. You're saying that. I'm not saying that at all. You're saying that.
I'm asking.
What I'm saying is that right now they saw, holy shit, we were able to get millions of people to download this app, to scan it. Like they were cool with this.
Okay.
So they introduced. That's what they were talking about here. Fuck, why don't we just do this with all their IDs and everything they do online? Everything is they have one digital identity because right now everyone has
literally everything.
Everything. That's what they do in China. Now, you're like, why would they use it nefariously? They already use it. And I don't mean nefariously as in your data. Your data's already lost. Right now, you're online. Don't worry about that shit. They know where you are. That's you can't hide that.
Live on YouTube.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube. So the problem here is that just like in China, when the other countries in the world were like, this is a great system. You know, everything is social credit. It's actually awesome. I've talked about the documentary of the Chinese fighter. The guy who was a UFC, he became a mixed martial arts fighter, and he realized that the gyms in China, the dojos, they're all fake. It was, those guys that touch you and then you fall over. So
I remember that.
So he started challenging them to fights, right? So he started doing MMA fights and beating the shit out of them. So what happened? The Chinese government said that that's bad for the culture, and what he's doing is this. So they fucked up his social credit score, and this guy couldn't rent an apartment. He was living in a train for a while, in the shitty part of the train, because you're not allowed to take the good part of the train. That's for people that have good social credit. What I'm saying is we can't keep doing this. We tested it out for 2 weeks. We saw they're willing to divide the population. They don't care. Okay. We can't just keep accepting until we get to the point where even if you have an option, you're scared to say it just because you don't want to lose points because you want to live in a specific neighborhood.
But how do the points apply to a centralized ID? That's where I'm losing.
Because right now, how are you not understanding? That's exactly how they're using China. So if you have one ID that you need to get in everywhere, right?
Oh, you need. Okay, hold on. I missed part of the story. I just thought we were digitizing our IDs.
That already exists with the Google Passport. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point.
So you need it to access parts of
society. You need to access like we're doing now.
Okay, all right, I understand.
So, but everything's in there. So let's say right now they go to you. You don't have
everything is in there.
Yes. So let's say right now you need a passport, the Vax passport to get into a restaurant. Let's say, okay. In the future, let's say you don't have that. Doesn't matter. You still have your digital. We'll get in even if you don't have this form of ID. Like let's say you're at the DMV. You don't have a driver's license. You're there for another reason. Doesn't matter. We still scan you because you can still get in because you have your overall Quebec citizen ID.
Sure.
So everything is tracked in one. Okay. It seems super convenient. Yeah. Until you realize how they've been using this, how China uses it, and how our government used it against us now, and how they were tracing everyone's phone, 33 million people illegally during the holiday break, something they said they would not do. Something they said they even can't do, like they can't do legally. But
they did it anyways.
They did it anyways.
But they already have the power to do that, right?
They have the power to do whatever they want. I mean, they don't have the actual power.
This is the key to our soul.
Legally, they don't have the power.
Legally, they don't have the power, and if they want to track you, they have to.
That's what I mean.
They have to use back doors. They have to use a lot of back doors, and if they get caught, they get fucked.
All they really need to do is make an agreement with a fucking big corporation. That's it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they can't really control big corporations. At some point,
no, but if they evoke national security or a health emergency, they can do whatever they want.
Every time there's emergency powers, they do whatever they want.
Do whatever they want. If we keep giving them emergency
but this
powers,
they don't need.
Using them.
They don't need a backdoor. They just know at all times.
So here, right now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because right before the pass, the vax pass, all that, we made fun, and I was like, when Poseidon was talking about how this is what's going to happen, you won't be able to go and so it's going to be applied for everyone. This was before September, okay? And I was like, okay, bro, calm down with the conspiracies. Like, it's not 1984. All the shit that he was saying that it ended up at the even worse. I didn't expect him to actually divide and then start doing it now, like a Walmart's, all that stuff. So now I'm taking it a bit more seriously. So when I see them cleverly motioning to push shit like this, and they mimic other countries, this one is they're mimicking China. I go look at what China's doing, and I'm like, oh no, social credit system. We're already doing it in China, and it is horrible. And they even made Black Mirror. They made a whole Black Mirror episode about a future like this.
Yep.
It is. And think about.
There's also been a great episode of The Orville. I don't know if you've ever watched The Orville.
No, but now you make me want to watch it.
Where they do the social credit thing on an alien planet, and they're super confused by it. But it's like a mix of social credit and social media.
Well,
that's how it's managed.
That's what we're leading to. I'm just saying,
it was a good
guys,
episode.
we have to take our foot a little bit off the pedal with this shit.
Yeah. This is becoming very.
I'm all for convenience. Put every ID in one digital thing, and then the argument happens. You're at an airport. You're running late. You don't have any battery left on your phone. Your physical shit doesn't work. What are you not going to board the airplane?
Well, it happened to me with Canadian Tire. I wanted to buy a wiper for my mother, right? Because it's fucking dangerous. I could. My phone was dead.
Yeah, I mean, look. Speaking of batteries, George, I don't know if you have this in your list.
Before we continue with your speaking of batteries, Eric
Super
Thomas
chat.
dropped $5 in the chat.
What is he saying?
If the truckers in Ottawa leave, do you think people will return?
I don't understand the question.
People will return where?
I didn't understand the question either.
Like to Ottawa?
But that's why I said it super dramatically to build some tension.
Eric, give us the follow-up to that. You don't need to drop more super chat.
Yeah.
Just explain it and we'll answer.
Yeah.
George, did you hear about the lithium firm that got sold? The Canadian lithium firm. Do you have this on your news?
No.
Bunch of lithium mines and the corporation that controls those mines and all the interest associated with lithium. One of the most important parts of making batteries. I don't know if you know this. Sold to China.
Again?
Huh? Yeah, another one. And apparently endorsed by the Liberal government. We're good with it.
Yeah, of course.
I just thought maybe you had it.
Apparently, there's a theory also that China and India will completely
destroy the world.
Surpass the U.S.'s economy.
Haven't
the U.S.
Together they already have the two combined.
No, right now the economy of the U.S. is the strongest apparently.
But China and India together are definitely already.
Together, but I'm not talking about together. I'm talking about China will be first and India will be second, and then the U.S. will fall third. People said by the year 2050, but I think
what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine, George? You have that
I saw Putin speaking yesterday.
Well, he said war will not be good for anyone.
Yeah, when he was speaking with Macron, and what he said, I like he's clever because he had to put the message out there. The same thing I was saying on the podcast about what NATO is, how NATO's pointing everything towards Russia, but the way the news presents it here is that Russia is the aggressor. Like they're trying to, and Russia is very aggressive.
They can be, but still.
But I get his point of you're pointing all your guns at me. And then now you're trying to get Ukraine to join it to point even more guns at me. He goes, are you fucked? Of course I'm not going to let it happen. If it goes to nuclear war, none of us are going to be winners. He goes, and don't forget that we're one of the countries with the most nukes. So I don't know why you're pushing us.
But at the same time, Pantelis, who's Russia to say what Ukraine does? I mean, if Ukraine wants to join NATO, I mean, they're part of the European continent.
If Ukraine wants to join NATO, do you know why? Yeah, do you know why they're pushing Ukraine to join NATO? For this very reason. Why does NATO exist?
To prevent
for sure. I know. But
no, but I mean, because we're giving half facts. Why does NATO exist? It exists to fight Russia. That's what NATO's for.
I mean, not on paper, but
that's why it was created. But at the same time, I mean, you're Russia.
Mm-hmm.
What do you care what Ukraine or why should you care? I mean,
he said it yesterday because they started talking about they join NATO and in exchange they're going to help them militarily take back Crimea. So he said yesterday, he says if that's the case and you think you're going to take military action to come take Crimea, it's not going to happen. He goes. this is the hill I'm going to die on.
Yeah, I mean, look,
they actually have more
this is a
nukes than
huge
the
issue.
US, by the way.
Obviously,
Yeah, we know
Europe
that.
wants to avoid
You just said
conflict in its territory. It
I'm
hasn't
sorry, I was
happened,
Googling stuff.
God knows how long. Probably since the last Balkan wars there in Kosovo. But it's a huge problem. I think that all the world leaders are. I think Biden is going to be meeting with Macron next week. Like you said, Macron met with Putin the other day. I mean, it's hard to imagine a military like a conflict happening now. There, I mean, nobody wants that, and I think at some point they're going to find a middle ground to kind of ease up all the tension. We'll see. We'll see how it evolves.
Well,
But
wouldn't
you're
the
right.
middle ground be to, I mean, not be this aggressive with Russia?
Yeah, it would, but at the same time, I mean, Russia is playing its game too, right? I mean, it has no business in Crimea to begin with, and let's not also forget its collaboration with Belarus, and Belarus they haven't been playing nice in the last decades. So,
Yeah. But these are arguments that will lead us nowhere because the U.S. had no business in Afghanistan, Libya, Somalia, wherever the fuck they are now on the planet. Canada had no business being there either. So, anyways, I'm just saying it's these imperialists that are fighting and they're using the rest of us as pawns.
yeah. Anyway,
And we're the ones who eat it. You know that, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Biden's son is not going to be the one that goes to war. He's going to be busy smoking crack. It's going to be other young American kids. Same thing in Canada. Trudeau's not going to war.
Speaking of Biden and crack, what happened? Didn't he?
Bro, we're talking to George. George's bringing the news here. This isn't in bed with Poseidon. Calm your tits.
Bro, give us your top 10.
Yeah.
No, I just want to get back to Quebec for a second because yesterday the Premier Legault announced.
George, before you do,
his-
I just want to use the restroom quickly.
Oh, nice.
One is terrible still. Terrible.
What do you mean?
Terrible.
The
Also,
smell?
the strangest thing happened.
Uh-oh.
I slipped on a banana peel. There was a banana peel in the bathroom. When I walked in, I slipped on a fucking banana peel. I'm like, what the
Bro,
fuck?
I'm embarrassed for
and
you.
there was a guy standing there coming out of the stall, and he's like, Super Mario shit, and he just walked out.
What?
What? No, that,
Yeah,
There's no way that happened.
that just happened.
I don't believe you.
Fine, don't
Super
believe me.
Mario shit.
That's some Super Mario shit he said. I'm
anyway.
like, did he fucking put that there? And he's just been waiting at the stall door for someone to slip? It's fucking, I don't know. It was, anyways, yeah, sorry. Go on.
Yeah. So yesterday, Premier Legault announced his plan to progressively lift the measures. He's been getting a lot of pressure in the last weeks to actually do that. So here it is. So as of this Saturday, there won't be any limit for gatherings in private houses. And of course, he's being criticized because the Super Bowl is on Sunday. So they're thinking, yeah, okay,
What the fuck?
you're always it's always convenient based on whatever polls you've been studying, and would you have done this had it not been the Super Bowl this weekend? But in any case, no more limit in the houses, even though the public health is recommending that they limit at 10 people.
I wanted to jump in, George, but I fucking choked because I laughed at my own joke.
Big
before I said
football
it.
fan, Phil
I didn't.
Balabanos.
Yeah, huge. I did not even know that we still had those measures in place.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, these are the measures: vaccine passport and masks. It's the only measures I'm aware of.
So look,
I've been
as of
ignoring the
next
rest.
Monday, all outdoor sport events will be allowed. The businesses will be able to open at 100% capacity as of the 21st of February. Give me 1 second. Yeah, all the showrooms and all halls like that will be like cinemas and all that stuff will be able to receive people at maximum capacity as of the 28th
What about strip clubs?
of February. What is that considered? Is that considered like a
Live venue, entertainment venue.
Is it? Or is it
It's a place of business, George. That's what it's considered, right?
What about brothels?
I'm just conducting a meeting.
So bars, casinos will also be able to open at 50% capacity on the 28th of February. And working from home, the télétravail will no longer be mandatory. On the 14th of March, essentially most health measures will be lifted, he said. So the bars and amphitheaters and all that will be able to receive 100% capacity.
We gotta start booking the tour.
Yeah,
Coming back, baby.
So essentially, that's it. So we're looking at around mid-March where he says that we're going to be seeing a much more normal lifestyle. Nothing yet on face masks and nothing yet on vaccination passports.
So the only measures that are important and people care about. Gotcha.
Look, the masks, you know.
I mean, the masks, I don't really care, whatever.
Yeah, I don't
but
care.
I'd still like to go back to a maskless life.
But here's the thing. If the health experts are saying that, look, the government should tell the people that we're going to have to start living with this virus, and that you should be yourselves responsible for whatever outcome. Just be a responsible citizen and play it safe. If you do contract the virus, then look, if you're vaccinated, it probably won't be that bad. If you're not vaccinated, there could be the symptoms could be harsher. I think that's why they're probably going to leave the vaccination passport there, so that they can incite people to at least get vaccinated, to keep getting vaccinated. I mean, I don't know. The other day I walked into the SAQ. I had completely forgotten that the vaccination passport was requested at the door. Completely. I had completely forgotten about it. I walk in, the guy's running after me. He's like, "Oh, sorry, I need you." I'm like, "What's going on?" He goes, your vax passport. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's true."
Did you yell at him? Fuck out of here!
The guy, but I'm just saying that, I don't know. I think people are kind of phased out about this whole thing. I mean, we just, what? I don't know. I mean, do you even think, I got to prepare my vaccination?
Every time I'm asked for it, I'm shocked as if it's the first time. I'm like, you need what? I don't know. I'm like, it's because you never know. Like, there's certain places they're going to ask for it because it's clear, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, I told the story last week. I went into an H&M and they asked for it. I was like, forget it. They're like, what do you mean? I don't feel like taking my shit off. I'm going to go to a smaller store. Because the surface area was bigger than the limit.
I've actually, on principle, avoided all these places.
I mean, except on principle, I haven't gone anywhere that I absolutely need the vaccine.
I'm going to have trouble finding my QR code on my phone at this point. Like, it's so far back, because I avoid it. Just on principle, because I don't like
the
it.
app, you just have the QR code.
Yeah, I
deleted
went
the app.
to like Costco, Walmart, Renault Depot. They asked for it. Canadian Tire. They asked
Actually, I went to Walmart and they asked for it and I was like shocked. I was like, you need what now? I went for breakfast on Sunday or Saturday, like brunch with Anna. And the woman asked for my passport and I showed it to her to go sit and eat. And she's like, I also need ID. I'm like, but do you really need ID right now? She's like,
they
I'm like
do
wearing
to
a
make
jacket.
sure it's you.
I'm in a fucking narrow little entrance.
I know, it sucks.
In the mile end. So I'm like, fine. So I fucking take it out. I'm like, fuck, my wallet, my hand, I have gloves on. And I'm just like, this is like really loud.
It was never meant to make
this is
sense.
the fucking stupidest system ever. And Anna's like, it's not her fault.
There's no way you yelled that out loud. I know you're
just
subdued.
I get fucking frustrated with certain things, especially in the morning before breakfast. I'm cranky.
He needs to get that.
I need food. And the girl looked at me and she's like, it's fine. Like, I know you're not yelling at me. I'm like, I should fucking hope so.
Jorge Rosales, I don't think that was ever stopped.
What happened?
You could do whatever you want, bro. He dropped $2 in the super chat.
Just now, because there was another $2.
Man, I only saw Jorge.
Top. He goes, okay, so he dropped $2 at first. Is Biden visiting to give Macron a pipe? We don't know.
Probably.
Okay, he wants to blow.
I don't know.
Crack, I don't think is a big epidemic in France.
Yeah.
C'est le crack. It's different.
What?
I feel like they're doing more
Los
opium.
Cracos.
Los cracos, eh? Los cracos mentiroso.
No, they smoke a lot of weed there.
Yeah.
What did he say? What about neuromassage asking for Poseidon? What does he mean?
Like, are they going to reopen? But I don't think they've ever closed.
They were never legally operating, so it's fine.
No, they're all legally operating.
No, they're all
Neuro
legally
massage is
operating.
legal?
Yeah, he explained this to us twice on 2 different podcasts.
I don't watch those podcasts.
No, he's even explained it on the morning show we've had in the past 2 years.
Wait, what's neuro massage?
the only-
It's the ones that are all advertised downtown.
The only time it became a little bit difficult for them to operate was during the curfews.
Oh,
Understandable.
that makes sense. That's
That's the
understandable.
only time.
That makes
I
sense.
got you.
Who
That makes
wants
sense.
a morning sex massage? That's weird.
A lot of people.
Yeah, another industry, guys, that is relieved by these measures being lifted is obviously the hotels.
Handjobalopolis.
They rely a lot
funny.
on business tourism, so all the conferences and all that stuff. From what I'm reading, it's business tourism for the hotels here in Montreal represent about 56% of their revenues. So huge relief for them. As of I think next week, they'll be able to receive up to 500 people. And again, there is controversy there because Gary Bettman, the NHL commissioner, came out and said that if Montreal or if Quebec doesn't lift these measures, we will consider taking the NHL draft to another city. So a lot of people are thinking, "Fuck, is that what scared Legault?" And he had to announce that as of February, the hotels are going to be able to organize conventions again. But that's besides the point. They're happy. They took a huge hit. The hotel industry took an enormous hit during the last 2 years.
What about in Ottawa?
They have 70% in general. 70% of their employees are on unemployment. So it just gives you an idea of the loss over there. So good news, because we have a couple buddies that are in the hotel industry as well, and in the restaurant business and hotel and the tourism industry in general. Happy for them as well. So look, guys, it seems as though things are headed in the right direction. Hopefully by early March.
It's almost, George, it almost feels like this virus, it's like worse during a specific, like it has a season, right? It's strange.
Like the flu.
Some might say it's psychological warfare on the people.
That's a whole other
this is what
statement,
what we've been saying. I mean, we've been saying this many times on the show that yes, it seems to be seasonal. And why hasn't the government just said, look, guys, fucking live with it? Okay, we know that around fall and winter it's gonna probably spike again. Be careful. Get vaccinated. Fuck, if you want to mitigate your symptoms.
George, you know what the craziest part of this whole psychological warfare, like you called it, is? I fucking caught COVID, right? I caught it, and still
he laid out a trap for it.
Yeah, I have it in my basement. No, I caught COVID, and sometimes when I'm out, I still flinch if someone's coughing. I'm like, what the fuck do I care? I caught COVID. It wasn't so bad.
Well, you could catch something else, but am I the only guy on this show that hasn't caught the peasant's disease?
I think so.
You probably have, and you didn't. You didn't test for it or
you just
whatever.
Fucking Corsicanted it. Whatever that shit is.
I take a rapid test every time my head hurts a bit because I panic all the time. But I think it's just welcome to superior genetics, ladies and gentlemen.
I think we created a safety bubble around you with our COVID immunity from catching it.
It might be that. Yeah.
We're protecting you.
Yeah.
We're the last line of defense.
Thank you.
My parents just came out of it, and they had almost no symptoms. My mom called me the other day. She's like, "Oh, finally we tested negative." Shit, it took 10 days. What the hell? I'm like, yeah, like I told you.
Were they sick for 10 days? Or they were just testing for 10 days?
I don't know. I mean, because they got it and they felt good. Like they got chills and stuff the first day, and then the second day they felt good. And so my dad was like, all right, I mean, you guys coming over? I'm like, what are you, crazy? I'm going to come over. He goes, we're done. I feel good. I'm like,
but you had COVID.
Good.
You're such a pussy, bro. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to take a video to show people because Captain Yo was talking about in the chat. That is true, though. I'm not going to lie. I do overdo it on the vitamins. If you look at my my routine in the morning, which today I forgot to take all my vitamins. I'm very scared. But normally C, D, zinc, all that. I'm bam.
You're the vitamin equivalent of a crackhead.
Thank you.
Just on vitamins all the time. If you don't take them, you just start fucking scratching.
I mean, if you're to have an addiction,
if you're gonna have an addiction,
it's definitely best to have it in vitamin form. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I can see you doing those weird like rich people IVs. You know, where you go and you just get like vitamin drips for the day, like those spas.
Well, when I become rich people's, that's my first spot.
And
please replenish my replenish my antibodies, please.
What is that? Oh, it's just oxygen from Everest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's pure shit, bro.
What are they pumping into you? The blood of the youth?
Virgin youth.
So just to finish up with the COVID, and you mentioned it, yesterday Alberta and Saskatchewan both announced that they were indefinitely ending the
apartheid
health restrictions and the mandate and masks and vax passes. Both premiers, Scott Moe in Saskatchewan and Jason Kenney in Alberta, they both pretty much had the same thing. I don't know if it was fucking if they spoke to each other, but they both pretty much said, listen, the benefits of having these policies in place no longer outweighs the cost that it's having on our society. Scott Moe, Premier of Saskatchewan, said, listen, at this point, we're creating two categories of citizens, and
I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's no longer justified to be doing this, and it's their right whether to be vaccinated or not, or whether to apply any of these measures that we've been announcing for the last 2 years.
Who is still for some of these measures?
Imbeciles. There are people, because of what they're told. This is why I like that this guy, what's his name? Lightbound. I like that he came out as part of the Liberal government to say, like, look, it's not, this is just Justin. Like, we're not all retards. Like, we understand that this is nonsense. I like that he came out to say that because there are a lot of people that I've spoken to that they think that that's what's saving the world now is these mandates and the passport and all that, because that's what
We're told.
That's what CNN, that's what CBC, that's what they're all saying, and that's what Justin Trudeau comes out and says. So they're like, I'm gonna believe him. Why would he lie to me, right? Why would they lie to me?
How ridiculous!
So they
was
don't
the
use
statement
any common
yesterday?
sense. That's what shocks me. It's like you got to use your common sense, guys.
Yeah, how ridiculous was the statement yesterday Justin Trudeau made when he was questioned about Joël Lightbound, and he said, "Look, we gotta stay course, and I know that it's frustrating, but these mandates is what's gonna help us." How did he say?
Yeah,
it?
this is
Made
what he
no
said. He says these mandates are in place so that we don't have any restrictions.
He didn't say that.
Yeah, and then people are like, "Well, aren't the mandates the restrict?" Like,
Wait, what?
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I forgot. I mean, I will stop going on mandates as soon as these dudes stop putting out. But right now, all these men that I go on dates with put out easily, so I'm gonna keep going on mandates."
I mean, look,
Sir, that's
he's
not
a
what we were
new-
asking
He's a
you.
newly single guy. He's out there figuring it out. You know what I mean?
No, it's just so dumb.
Did you guys,
see the-
we're gonna drift into gossip now, but you
Yeah,
guys
I don't want to
think
drift into
there-
gossip.
You guys think that there's
before-
really
before we
marital
continue-
issues there?
I'm going to tell you right now about Justin Trudeau's marital issues. I don't care. That's his business, and I don't believe that we should criticize him no matter what on the marital issues. Whether he's divorced, I don't give a shit. What we should consider is how sad it is that someone, because of his position, he has to hide it. If he did get divorced, he has to hide it because the media, for some reason, doesn't matter how you do your job. Because let's say he was doing a great job, the media, for some reason, will spin it negatively, like you're not good at your job because you got divorced. So if
Maybe
anything,
he's too good at his job.
if
That's why he got
anything, I
divorced.
feel bad that he can't be a normal person, get divorced, get married, date, or whatever the fuck because of the media. So that part I am not for. I believe that is slanderous, and I don't like the fact that people go after you based on personal shit. It has nothing to do with your job. On the other hand, as a prime minister, he's proven, especially this year, he's fucking
Incompetent,
terrible.
yeah,
He's incompetent and he's very bad at his job. He's very divisive. He's pulling a Trump. It's the same reason why I'm telling people you should not want Trump to run. If you want the Republicans to win, you should want DeSantis. Because
Yes.
Trump, bro, I love this tweets. I think it's hilarious. However, he's still too divisive. There's still two people that are
Too many people.
too many people that even though, let's say it's like, okay, his policies here are good, I don't want to vote for him because X, Y, because he has that negative
He's
stigma
got a
around him.
hateable face.
Yeah, no. To me, I think he's hilarious, but it's not. You need someone that doesn't divide.
I think you're hilarious. I wouldn't want you in charge of the country.
Well, that's a terrible thing to say.
That is a
I would
great
be a
thing to
great
say.
leader for the country.
No.
I will sacrifice my own well-being
You would.
for the good of the country.
But one tiny slight by another nation, next thing you know, we're at fucking war.
I
You
confirm
have a
that.
bad
Yes,
temper.
I confirm that
You're
100%.
unstable.
There are
Like,
places.
I can't have you sitting at fucking the UN like this and you're like, yo, Russia, what you fucking talking shit, bro, from Park X?
That is true.
Like,
that would
that
happen.
can't happen.
Like what? Switzerland? Why are you even fucking talking?
Poseidon, get in there. And Poseidon just shows up with like a fucking little army.
Hey, while I'm here, only real countries are allowed to talk. You hear me? Sweden, shut the fuck up.
You're wearing a pinstripe suit, and
Yeah.
the pinstripe, it says, I'm from Park X, bro.
That's funny.
Hey, China, you're doing a lot of this. You're doing a lot of this right now. Yeah, it would be a lot of that. I admit it.
What's that TikTok?
I admit it.
Yappa.
I admit it. That
Yeah.
there would be an international incident.
You probably
However,
have good policies,
Yes,
but
I would have great
in
policies.
You would be like-
diplomacy, very bad.
It would be like
Very
Trump
bad.
showing up to those meetings where he was pushing people out of the way. Do you remember that video where
Yeah.
he pushed people out of the way?
man.
I would be very Trump-esque in that
Have
manner.
you ever seen the video of Trudeau when he sits down, I think next to the Brazilian prime minister at the UN,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah,
puts
yeah.
out his hand to shake it? The guy looks at his hand and just turns around.
Yeah.
And Trudeau's like,
That's embarrassing.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
fucking
create a
embarrassing.
new alliance empire. Like right away, if I would ever take, I'd ally with all the countries that I personally have an affinity towards.
so Haiti, Greece.
We would have Canada, Haiti, Greece, the USA, Japan, Egypt, Senegal, all the people that I like, or Serbia, get all that shit together. Fucking Spain, Portugal, Italy,
the GPA.
and be like, look,
The Global Pantelis Alliance.
We're tight now. Fuck everyone else.
Yeah, fuck him.
Fuck everyone else. Look,
What about
first,
Russia?
Russia's with me, bro.
Okay, cool.
Russia's with me, but also
feel like
the,
they
we
would
like
be.
the Ruskies.
the Ukraine also with me. It's a
Ukraine
new
is
alliance.
strong.
There's no more NATO. There's only what I'm
GPA.
suggesting. The GPA.
The Global Pantelis Alliance.
We'll put Tunisia in there.
Tunisia.
Yeah, Tunisia's got to be in there, bro.
North Africans.
We have to get some North Africans in there.
They're gonna
Oh,
fucking
only
try
the
and
good
sell
ones.
you shit, bro.
Iran,
They're gonna sell you shit.
Iran. The Iranians are my homies. The Iranians are in there too.
Oh.
Wait, are you supplanting their
homies from
governments
Iran.
first?
India's with me.
India, yes.
You need India.
I would very much like China.
Why don't you liberate
But I will
part of
only allow
China?
them in the empire if they would get rid of the social credit system.
Do you remember when if you Wikipedia'd you,
Maybe
It
some
said you were
parts.
the king of like an independent nation on Crete.
Yeah, and Pitcairn Islands. I was the king of Pitcairn Islands for like 4 years.
That's amazing.
That was
times.
great. But that's what I would do. That's that would be my empire. And then there would be countries that can never join the empire. And
Germany.
we would feud with.
Germany.
100% could not be part of the empire.
Austria,
we
Hungary,
can't trust them.
Switzerland.
We can't trust Austria, maybe, but we can't trust the
Really?
Germans. The Germans, we trust them twice. They try to kill everyone.
Hold on, why are you trusting
Oh,
Austria?
Poland would be allies.
Poland will be allies. Nigeria, they're my homies. They're
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Madagascar.
Ethiopia's with me.
Ethiopia?
Ethiopia's with me. Ethiopia's cool. Congo.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Congo.
Do we have a soccer team? Like, is that why we're choosing these countries?
No. They all have their own
Just
independent
checking.
soccer teams. They all have to have their independent soccer teams. Luxembourg will be with us. Gibraltar, because they can't protect themselves. We gotta help out
We
the
need to
homies.
protect access to the Mediterranean. I
Yeah.
get it.
Philippines.
The Filipinos will be with me. I like the Filipinos.
Yeah,
They're
that's
nice people.
friendly.
You just
Yeah.
named most of the countries. I mean,
Not most. Not most. Did you hear me name New Zealand? Did you hear me name the UK? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Australia, too.
First order of business, we're taking out the Queen.
I mean, that's just time. We just gotta wait her out.
Oh, I mean like the monarchy, not the actual Queen. She's an
Oh,
old
yeah,
lady.
yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
touch an old lady.
There
But-
can only be one monarch.
yeah. Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, first order of business. They're expunged and they're thrown out of the entire empire. They're not allowed to go to any of the
They're not here.
imperial
They're
countries.
are we taking the U.S.?
Yeah, we're taking the U.S. The
Oh,
U.S.
we're
is part of my
taking the
empire.
US.
Yeah, we're
Shit.
together. My homies.
Yo, man. This
What
is
about
crazy.
Israel?
They could be part.
They come with a lot of baggage.
They come
though.
with a lot of baggage. They could be part, but they have to come as a package with Palestine.
I see.
And they're no longer allowed to kill each other. And then they're both in the empire.
Remember Bosnia-Herzegovina?
Lebanon?
Maybe we can do one of those. Lebanon for sure.
Saudi Arabia is not allowed in
Yeah,
because they keep attacking the Yemenis. I don't like that.
Yemenis?
The Yemenis are allowed in.
But they don't bring anything to the table.
I know, but we can protect them.
What are we getting out of this? You're a terrible diplomat. What are we getting in return? Where's the pro quo?
A lot of kids are not dying.
That's a good pro quo. Okay.
I'm good with that. Less child murder.
Fair,
Okay,
fair.
which Latin American countries are in?
Oh, bro, most of them.
Brazil.
Most of them?
Brazil's in, bro.
Brazil's in, bro.
Argentina's in. I love the Argentinians.
So we're building a soccer team, really, is what he's doing. I got you.
Who's not? Peru has to be in. I like Peruvians.
All of our fucking diplomats are like,
I like
famous,
Colombians.
washed up soccer
El
players.
Salvador is in, but they can no longer allow a street gang to run the country.
I mean, you're in charge now, so.
Venezuela can stay away.
You don't like the Venezuelans? I like Venezuelans.
We just got rid of the. We have to just.
We have to get rid of that government.
Once
Yeah,
the
you're right,
GPA
you're
is
right,
formed,
you're
we'll
right.
have an intelligence agency. We'll call it the Poseidon League.
Mexicans
okay?
are allowed.
They're gonna go in and they're gonna replace these governments.
The USA.
See how
Yes,
fast we got corrupted?
but
We don't even
minus-
have this empire.
but minus California and what's that other garbage state with Seattle?
Myanmar is not
Washington.
allowed.
Yeah, there you go. Those two
Indonesia
states-
So
not
nice there,
allowed.
though.
They
Huh?
do a lot
So
of bad
nice
stuff.
there, though. Indonesia, yeah.
Unless they change their ways. Pakistan, I want the
You're spreading
Pakistanis,
around
but I
the
don't like the
Muslim countries, I've
Pakistani
noticed.
government. What?
Not a lot of Muslim countries. Let's balance it out.
So many Muslim countries.
Which
We
ones?
said the UAE, Egypt,
You never said the
Tunisia.
UAE, you said
Yeah, the
no
UAE is
Saudi.
in it.
Okay,
And the
the UAE is
Yemenis,
in, okay.
Palestine,
Okay, fair. Okay.
Lebanon?
I just want to keep shit
Lebanon
balanced,
is half
bro.
half.
France. If we-
That was well timed.
Just saying. One of the biggest
played.
Muslim countries everyone.
That's amazing.
Fragistan.
Yeah, Haiti was the first country I mentioned. Of course, Haiti's in.
Yeah, Haiti, yeah. Haiti's not Muslim.
No, but I'm saying a part of the
you're reading
homies.
chat,
Oh,
okay.
Cuba. We gotta liberate Cuba.
I will liberate the Cubans.
Cuban people are very good people.
And that's where I will, Trudeau, will kick him out. He has to live in Cuba just to catch up with his roots.
He starts like a weird, like Cuban ethnic folk band, and he's like, "I'm getting back in touch with my."
So look, it
my
seems like
roots."
most of the countries are
Who-
cool.
Who did we leave out? China.
We left out China. We left out Albania. We left out Bulgaria. We left
UK.
out Romania.
What about all the other Balkan nations?
We can't have them all in.
We can't split them up though. They're a package deal.
Okay,
Balkans.
Albania could come.
We will not Balkanize the Balkans again.
Albania is allowed to come.
The Muslim Albanians or the Christian Albanians?
All the Albanians are welcome.
All right.
They can come.
What about the the Northerners?
The Romanians could come.
Romanians 100% can come.
I like Romanians.
I like them too.
The Bulgarian, dude. The Bulgarians. You know what? They could come too. I like the
I don't
Bulgarians.
trust them, man.
They backstab everyone. This
They're
is
a little
true.
bit stabby.
That's been history.
But
That's
at
what-
least you know they'll backstab you.
But they won't backstab
I
me
like
when
what
I
he
have the
said,
whole
though.
world with me.
Yeah, exactly. They lean towards power.
We're not okay.
Historically.
Kazakhstan's not allowed in.
Why?
Evil empire, Kazakhstan.
And Mongolia is not.
Mongolia, we can trust Mongolians. You're fucking crazy, bro.
allowed. Turkey is not
Are you
allowed.
crazy? Turkey is hit or miss.
Look,
If a different government takes over and it's no longer that guy,
okay,
Turkey's
look,
allowed.
We're
The
gonna
coast,
if-
the west coast of Turkey is allowed.
No, we're not going to split the country.
Aren't we though?
we kind
Aren't
of.
we though?
Okay,
Where is
who
the-
else?
where's the
Turkmenistan
spiritual-
not allowed in.
No,
Very
not allowed.
evil empire.
Azerbaijan.
Are you crazy, Azerbaijan? They're far away. Armenia's in. I forgot Armenia. Armenia's in.
We got our Armenian brothers.
Lebanon is in.
We're gonna give the
And while
Kurds
we're
a
there,
country back.
we'll give the Kurds a country. Look,
Yeah, Kurdistan. We have to create Kurdistan.
If we're gonna
Okay, Turkey's
balkanize-
in, but it turns into Kurdistan.
gonna-
You guys like that?
No,
I like
I
it.
have
You guys
a better
like that?
solution.
I like it.
You guys
I have
like
a better
that?
I like it.
United Nations. United
Yo,
Nations. We got this.
High five.
High five. High five.
If we're gonna balkanize anything,
Yeah.
it's Turkey.
Yeah.
Break it up and make it make sense.
I'm cool with that.
South Africa, where do you stand?
Take it or
Well,
leave
look,
it.
here's the thing, because a lot of
just
smart
checked
people in
out.
South Africa, because I think the richest African, one of the richest people on the planet is an African American. His name is Elon Musk. He's originally from Africa. He migrated to America, and he's
Which is why they
changing the
hate him
world.
so much,
Which is why they
because
hate
of
him. They don't like
racism.
Africans, bro.
No.
They're very racist. I like South Africans. This is
I thought
correct.
they hate him because his father ran one of those diamond.
Smear campaign.
What about the
Smear campaign.
That might be true.
The
So he-
Vatican?
No, fuck
Vatican. The Vatican's
no.
not allowed in, bro. We have to protect our children.
The Pope needs to pay.
We have to
the
protect
Pope-
our
No, we
children,
have
bro.
to
You crazy?
dismantle the Vatican. We dismantled the
Yeah,
Vatican.
we dismantled the Vatican. The Vatican's not in. Are you
I'm
fucked,
okay
bro?
with leaving it there, but
Yeah,
they
we
have
can
to
just
pay
leave
us a tax now.
Yeah, and part of the tax is stop banging kids.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the tax.
Plus 10%.
Yeah.
South Korea is allowed. No North though.
Yeah, South Korea is definitely allowed.
I want to reunify Korea.
Yeah, the only way I'm taking them in is they have to unify.
And get rid of
Greater
what's his
Korea.
face?
I want to call it Great Korea.
Yeah, I'm gonna call
We'll
it Great
take
Korea.
care of him. Don't worry about
The
it.
greater area of Korea.
Greater
No,
Korea.
Best Korea. We'll call it Best Korea.
I like Best Korea actually. You know,
Korea
we'll
is
go
right.
Best
You know
Korea.
what? Best Korea.
We're going Best Korea.
Best Korea.
What about George? Do you like? Okay, so we
George,
haven't
do you have
mentioned.
any countries on your list that you want to bring in? Colombia. We'll bring in Colombia.
I was gonna say Armenia, and then you guys said it.
Yeah,
so
so
there you
okay,
go.
South Africa can come if they promise to cut ties with the evil empire of Australia.
What do you have against
yes.
Australia?
Australia, New Zealand, I don't like what they're doing.
That's their government right now.
Yeah.
What about the people? They're criminals.
So you think we should take them over and give them
I
a
don't think they should
democratic
be
society?
part of the empire. I think they should be annexed. Let's run them. We can
Right.
do a better job.
We could run.
See
It
how a
is
little
beautiful.
bit. Look, the power's corrupting me already.
But you see, I'm willing to
What's
negotiate.
my fiefdom?
I'm willing to
Hawaii.
negotiate. I'm a good leader. I'm willing to negotiate.
Hawaii? It's
Hawaii
part of
is it's a state, but
No,
We'll
Hawaii
get
is going to remain independent.
I see.
I like
Hawaii
a
is gonna-
free Polynesia. I
We
like
need
a
a
neutral
free-
zone.
Neutral zone. They got to remain independent.
Okay.
Switzerland will cease to exist.
Good.
First place we're bombing is Switzerland.
Olga brings up a good point, though. We never included Greece. Oops. We were gonna. They were there.
Well, like,
They were
It
there.
was a sous-entendu. We
Yeah,
kind
there
of
you
we
go.
get.
Like
it.
when we
It's not-
say us, like when we say we're going to, we're not. We're speaking.
Could
as
you imagine
Canadians.
Greeks are like, what about me?
Bro, what about us?
No, Greece is in there.
He's like,
What
what the
about Portugal?
fuck, guys?
Huh?
What about
Portugal?
Portugal?
Portugal's in there, bro. All the pigs are in.
Not all the pigs.
Spain is in.
Spain is in.
Italy, of course, Italy's in. I already mentioned Italy. It's the new Roman Empire down there, bro.
Italy, except for the what's that area called? Napoli.
Not the
How
north
is
of
Napoli
Italy.
not
That's
going to be in there? Our
basically
homies from
Switzerland.
Napoli.
We can only have Guido, not all of Napoli.
No, I like Napoli. We're going to keep Napoli.
Anything north of Rome, I'm questioning here because it's basically Switzerland.
I don't know about the Czech Republic.
Slovakia for sure. The Czech
Look,
Republic,
On one condition.
Yeah.
They give an entry
Bosnia
point-
is not allowed in, bro.
Bosnia is
These guys
not
are
allowed
crazy. They always cause
Herzegovina?
trouble.
Czech Republic,
No.
because they're a bunch of petty.
No,
they're a
he
bunch
said
of
no.
they're a bunch of petty bastards. They gotta give a.
Montenegro could come if they promise to change their name to something less racist.
fair point. Like other Albania, they can call themselves other Albania.
Yeah. George, what do you think of this,
What
bro?
about the Northerners?
Who are the Northerners?
I don't want to say their name.
The Scandinaves?
No, our Northerners.
Skopje?
Skopje.
Are you crazy, bro? Skopje, bam, disappear. Skopje.
God.
What about
There's
what about
just a crater.
What about Croatia?
Oh, for sure, Croatia.
Oh, Croatia's in. Yeah, we need
Yeah,
Modric
yeah.
with us.
I love
yeah.
the Balabans. They can come.
But the Scandinavian countries, we're going to leave them independent. And they will build all our furniture for the empire.
Flat pack. I like how you're thinking. Smart.
I know what I'm doing.
Sustainable lumber.
Because that will be the trade, right? That's part of their thing. They're going to be called Viking Land. It's going to be like a theme park. Yeah.
Guys, who do you want us to add to the country?
We're gonna
taking-
rename-
the top
What about
two.
the Baltic countries? Latvia, Lithuania,
I mean-
Estonia?
We can take 'em or
Take
leave
them or
'em.
leave them, bro. They're basically neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But we're going to rename Iceland.
To what?
Iceland will be named Tiny Island Land.
Why?
And what?
Why?
Because it's a tiny island.
Fair.
And Greenland, we're
Big
going to
island
rename that. That's just going to be called land.
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 Two lands.
Just land. Just land.
But why?
Actually, you know what? Greater Canada. It's going to come part of Canada. I'm going to unite
We'll
that
just
with
make
Canada.
it a province.
Yeah. It's gonna be
provincial land.
It's gonna be called province land. Province land.
Bro,
I like
right
it. Province land. We're solving every crisis on the planet.
Fucking Olga's so quick to fucking straight, like such a Serbian
What's she
thing.
saying?
Fucking both of them, wipe them off the map.
Yeah, both. Wife doesn't matter.
Disgusting.
You know, I'm
Olga.
gonna put her in the gulag.
No, don't put her in the gulag.
No,
That's
put her
what
in the
she
gulag.
wants.
She's trying to help. She's trying to give ideas here.
She's her heart's in the right place. Her methods are questionable, like Milosevic, but
Who did we forget?
you know
Oh, Afghanistan?
Huh?
Where do you stand with Afghanistan?
Afghanistan can come.
they can come. Yeah,
Yeah,
They
but
can
they
come.
have to get rid of the Taliban, bro. I'm not dealing with that shit.
Yeah. I'm not
Like,
down
I'll
for
take
that.
some of their stuff, like women can't drive, because I like safety in my empire. But I want all my citizens to feel safe when they're out there. But apart from that, bro, they gotta calm their tits.
Did we talk
Thailand.
about India?
India's
I
in,
talked about India.
in.
India's my homies, bro. They're in.
What about Pakistan?
What about Iraq?
I said Pakistan. If they have to be less aggressive, because I like Pakistanis.
Okay, Nepal.
It's not a real place.
Fair point. Bhutan.
The fuck is Bhutan?
It's next to Nepal.
Oh,
It's basically mountains.
Bro, I didn't know that was a country until now.
yeah. Pakistan can have them.
What about the Southeast Asian?
Indonesia's not allowed. They're too evil.
No, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia.
Ooh,
all those
Laos,
guys.
Laos and Cambodia. They're with us.
What about
The
Nam?
Philippines.
The Philippines, we said, they're welcome. They're
They're
welcome
friendly.
to come.
Yeah.
They don't have to, but if they want to, they can. And we know they're gonna say yes because they're just so nice. They're like, of course we will join you.
I like
Yes.
it.
Good morning. Hi.
Yeah. Plus, Duterte will have to remain in charge.
Who?
Duterte.
Really?
Yeah. I like his style. No nonsense, this guy.
I don't know. Okay. I mean, it's your empire. What's
You're
Poseidon's
goddamn
role?
right, it's my empire. You better watch yourself.
And if you disagree with me, I'm gonna give you all centralized IDs.
No. I will not be mean to my people.
So it's not really an empire.
My
It's like
subjects.
a federation.
I like the federation idea.
like it too.
It's like the galactic federation, but on this
without all the
shitty planet.
communism.
Yeah, less
Yeah,
communism.
Less communism.
Freedom. You're allowed to build for yourselves.
I like federation.
We will go into all the hard hit neighborhoods and give out low interest business loans.
I think you should have more countries in Africa, like
We don't know any other countries in Africa. We named all
Well,
the
hey,
ones
you
we
look at
need.
the powerful economy like Nigeria or Ivory
We said
Coast.
Nigeria. Nigeria's
or, one
on.
of those
Ivory
guys.
Coast is in. We need soccer
Ivory
players
Coast
for
is
the
in, bro. Are
team.
you crazy? Congo's in.
The elephants are with us.
Yeah.
Not
Oh.
the actual elephants, les éléphants, whatever they call them.
I don't know though about what else we have.
Congo, the Democratic Republic
Congo's
of
in for
Congo.
sure.
Which
You
Congo?
said Congo.
We said Congo.
Which one?
There's only one.
There's only one now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Congo's
what happened
with
to the other
us.
Congo? Is it Zaire now or something?
What's that other place that the American
Namibia.
went down there and they made their own thing? What the fuck's it called again?
Oh, Liberia.
Liberia.
Yeah.
They're not in. They're weird. They're wacky. Too
They are a
wacky
bit
for me.
wacky.
There's only one America in there. It's the United States of goddamn America. That's the official title. We're gonna call the United States of goddamn America,
Can we just rename them to something that's easier?
and we're gonna give California to the Chinese.
I mean, it's theirs already.
Yeah.
But do you? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
What do you guys think of this empire?
We'll give them
Are we
BC.
all for this federation?
I'm for it.
Go team.
I'm in.
Whoa, why is you fucking Zig Heil?
Oh no, I'm trying to touch his hand.
That's so weird.
Trying to touch his hand.
It is so specific.
Trying to touch his hand.
That was actually funny. That was actually
And
very
this would
funny.
be the fourth empire.
Ah, the Germans I already said are not allowed
That
in.
was very good timing.
Good, thank you.
It hurts inside.
That's so funny.
I know the Germans are not
George,
allowed
you
in.
still good to go? You
The
have more
Germans
news?
are not allowed in for that very reason. We can't trust them.
The Swiss, the Germans,
Yeah, the
all
Swiss-
those mid-European nations, not the
What about the
Northerners.
Austrians? What about the Austrians?
I don't
That-
trust
The
them.
Austrians are hit or miss. They
And
might.
the Hungarians need to be erased from the map.
Really, you don't like Hungarians?
I don't trust
They
them.
make good salami.
They do make good salami. They have. I like their Jews, like those parts of Hungary.
Did
I'm
you
happy
say
with.
Jews or did
No,
you
no,
say Jews?
They're
as in-
Hebraic fellows.
Okay.
They're Ashkenazi because they're mostly
By the way,
Hungarian,
just a little
right?
side note,
Yeah.
because I was looking for like a German sound effect.
What came up?
To add, just machine gun sounds.
Did you spell
Yeah.
German wrong?
It's called the German breakfast.
It's just sounds of machine guns
That's I mean,
in the
old machine
library.
gun.
Yeah, old machine guns.
Interesting. You should write like Oktoberfest.
All right,
It
calm down.
startled me. What was I saying? Yeah, so I like the Hungarian Jews. They can come, but the other Hungarians, they sketch me out.
No, we will
I don't know
bring.
where they stand.
If you're gonna do it because of the sausages, I mean, you might as well go with Poland.
No, Poland is
I
in.
prefer-
They're fanatics. We need Poland.
I like Poland, but I
Wow,
don't like
dude,
their sausage.
fucking, give Poland a job, they'll do it. We'll tell them, we'll give you this job, and you don't have to deal with Germans. They're gonna be like, fuck, we'll do anything.
Yeah.
What we'll do, we'll take Hungary, but they have to rename themselves to Hunland.
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 Yeah, land of the Huns.
I like it.
You down? And every
know
boy
what?
has to be named Attila. That's my empire. These are the
Okay.
rules. Do you want to
Then
be
we
in
might as well-
Hungary?
Okay.
Also, France has to give up Saint-Pierre et Miquelon.
What is that?
It's that little island they still have in Canada.
Well, give it up. I mean, we own Canada. It's part of us.
Yeah.
And if we have France, it's all part of the same
but
federation.
it's French. It's literally
I
French.
know.
I
But
know.
not anymore. Not in my
I'd like
federation.
to actually now I remember watching a whole travel.
I don't like you
series on this,
bullying
yeah.
one of our top Islamic nations.
Yeah,
You're gonna make us
you
look like
fucking
racist.
racist.
You're gonna make us look like Islam.
Why do you hate Islam?
Yeah.
Leave France alone. What about Belarus?
They're not in.
They're not in.
Only one Russia. Just because you call yourself beautiful Russia doesn't make you beautiful.
white
One
Russia.
Russia. Huh?
So we rename but look, if we do have both,
Yeah.
just saying, do we need to rename Russia so we don't have any confusion?
I'm already confused.
Fair, okay.
Oh, guys, did you know? Speaking of
Geography with the morning show. Go on.
speaking of Belarus and that whole conflict, there was reading some news, and there was this quote from the mayor of Kiev, which is the capital city of Ukraine, and it's the former boxer. Did you guys know this? What's his name? Klitschko or whatever his name is.
I don't know anything about boxing. There's a bunch of super chats that came
Oh,
through while
if
were
we have
doing
super
this.
chats, Poseidon, why don't you read them?
They
Well,
start,
I've been
they
trying
start a
to,
bit
but
back.
you went off on a global
Tirade.
crusade.
I am
It was a
the
campaign.
answer. And then once all this is settled, by the way, next up, we're colonizing Mars. You're welcome. You're all welcome.
Before you do the super chats, we need to make a T-shirt of your face like this, and it says "I am the answer." That's amazing.
All right.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
So
I have
first
the photo.
super chat, Eric Thomas. $5 big dollaroos. Pantelis, I have a copy. I have an audio copy of you and Mike on Rogan. Since you guys talking for a while, deleted. Just curious, you need it or all good?
Is she
No,
trying to
all
extort
good.
you?
They exist. We have there are many copies floating around, some bootlegs that have been shared. It's now like a mixtape. By the way, did you guys hear that compilation from Rogan? You guys heard that mixtape? It's fire, bro. I was playing in the car on the way here.
I listened to it.
I didn't
after.
agree with him before, but he made some good points in that video.
I wasn't aware of it until I watched Abin preach on Schultz on
Oh,
Flagrant
yeah,
2,
yeah.
which is fucking hilarious. By the way, I died. Like
I was watching yesterday.
I haven't laughed that hard in the opening of a podcast in a while. No offense.
so
I'm just saying.
next super
but
chat-
then I checked it out. It's hilarious.
Next super chat is Blankers. $2 in the chat. Are restrictions still about health and safety?
They
Absolutely
haven't
not.
been
No.
for that, I think, for over a year now.
Yeah.
The first restrictions, wave one, probably misguided, but health and safety. Ever since then, it's just been nonsense.
And last super chat, it's the same thing as another one, but I'll still say it because out of respect. I ask again, you need audio of your episode, Rogan. I got it, FRO.
we
I
went hard
shouldn't.
there,
I
Eric,
shouldn't
sorry.
need it, but I'll have Poseidon reach out in case we do.
I mean, take it. If he has it, take it.
No, because it already exists. We already have it somewhere.
Oh, okay.
But you never know. Speak to Eric. I like that. I like that the internet will secure some stuff just in case this kind of shit
I
happens.
mean, there's a bunch of stuff that come up out in the last 6 months. The second I saw it, I'm like, record this. I might need this. Is gonna be gone in 10 days.
Yeah, they keep deleting shit.
Yeah.
Anywho, yeah, and Abba, I think we're gonna have Abba on the Pantelis podcast in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks when he comes back from his American tour.
Yo, I invited a guest to host to the morning show next Friday, but I didn't tell you about it.
What?
It's okay.
Next Friday,
Next Friday.
like next week,
Yeah.
a guest host.
A guest host. It's a surprise.
No,
It's
you
not a
have to
surprise, I'll
run.
tell you after.
have to run the guest host through him.
Through him.
Through him,
Yep.
he's producing the show. He's the. I've given him the authority.
I thought this was my show.
Well,
Mine
it
and
was.
George's.
It was. And then you always get angry. Guys like, I can't make it. I'm sick. George is like, oh, my pussy hurts. I can't come in. All that stuff.
Wow.
So he's
Wow.
in charge.
Well,
Okay, that might be a bad idea.
That's
Well,
actually.
it depends.
terrible.
It depends on the tone of the skin.
Okay, George, you're in charge.
What? I mean, no. He's,
Okay, no.
I think he's the right tone. I don't know what the right tone is to
All
you.
right,
but
Phil,
he's-
look, you're back in charge, but you gotta.
Who, me?
You need to run a tighter ship here.
Me?
Yeah. You got one guy spewing racial nonsense.
I know.
Another guy Skyping in from God knows where.
The real problem is I can't control them because I don't pay them. So I have no leverage. But yeah, I did. And,
I
Cope is
have
saying,
no
why aren't
master."
you on the streets with Viva? Viva's in Ottawa right now. He's on the streets. Viva's taking care of the street stuff because we're maintaining the internet.
I wonder if Coop here was making a pun or censoring himself so he wouldn't get censored. Like, is he making a Guy Fawkes joke, which is hilarious?
Why the fuck? He's smart because, no, he knows
Okay.
that fucking.
'Cause either way,
YouTube-
it's a win for me.
because he knows that YouTube, the second you put in certain words, they will block him and then we will not be able to see him. They will
Like,
hide his message.
Justin, freedom, Trudeau, all those words, they get blocked right away.
Just put gay. All right. So what's next on the list, George? You don't have that much time.
He's got lots of
Yeah,
time.
I'll let you guys go on some lighter stuff. Sorry. First, Valerie Plante is in hot water, the mayor of Montreal. Over the
Having a
weekend,
bath.
she posted a story on her Instagram account about putting up tiles in one of her tenants' bathrooms. So for
What?
those who
Say that
So
again.
for those
Sorry,
who want to
what?
know, I
Can
mean,
you
she's
repeat?
the owner of a I don't know, a triplex or a quadruplex or
Good
whatever.
for her. I don't have a problem with this.
Well, that's
Me neither.
fine. And she went into
Imagine
her
the mayor
tenant.
is your
And,
landlord.
she was renovating the bathroom, so they were putting up tiles, and she put up a story. She goes, "Mairesse et poseuse de tuiles," whatever.
Okay.
Definitely
What's
a
what's
It
the
was all
what's the
nice
problem
and
with
fun,
any of
whatever.
that?
She shared a picture of her husband as well, helping her out and everything.
All right.
And then
What's the issue
on
with that?
Monday, you had the CCQ, which is the body that controls everything that happens in the construction industry over here, saying, "Excuse me, by the way, you are not allowed to do that kind of work in your house. You need to have someone with the right paperwork and the permits to be
For
able to do
tile?
that."
Shut the fuck up, you dirty communist! Shut the fuck up!
This has
Wait a second.
created this huge debate on what is allowed and what is not allowed. And there's all these things online, and people read up on it. And technically, she was not allowed to do it.
Under this communist regime, I have a question. Who is the guy that said that?
The CCQ, the Conseil de la Construction du Québec or whatever.
Poseidon, can you go find the Twitter account and direct them to suck my dick?
Yo, breaking news. Breaking news. My grandfather's back home.
Yeah!
He's chilling at
All
home.
right.
Yeah.
A bunch
He
of
beat COVID.
losers, bro.
Just wanted to tell everyone. I just got a text.
So this is what happens. So technically, if you own a building, or in her case, if you have tenants, you could do minor work,
Such as?
some reparations and some aesthetic stuff, like put fix the gibrock or whatever, stuff like that.
So you can put up a wall, but you can't put up fucking tile. It's
Oh,
stupid.
no, you can't put up a wall. You can repair a wall if there's
Okay.
a hole in it and that kind of stuff. But for this sort of work, you absolutely need to get someone that has this paperwork.
Why?
That's dumb. I
in order
mean,
to
I
do it.
understand
My
it's
house.
for insurance purposes. That's why they do it.
Exactly.
Why do you mean
Because
insurance purposes?
Insurance
if
won't
you don't
cover
do it
you if you're the one
properly
who
and
did
But
it.
then
that's her
there's
problem.
whole-
That's not the
Yeah,
sin.
exactly.
I know.
This seems like a scam because that's her problem. If her insurance says, "Did you do it or do you have a license, guy?" She goes, "I did." Like, "Oh, we can't insure you." That's her problem.
I
The
just
fuck
don't
are they
see
getting
how
involved?
Tile is aesthetic. Like, I mean, if she was doing electrical work or plumbing, I mean, I understand. I get it. You can fuck up the whole thing. But if she had done it in her own home, not a rental, would it have been okay?
Valerie Plante just learned that it's a racket. That this is all a racket. Because I have friends too that they've tried to do minor. And I'm not going to give their names, but minor renovations in their
I thought they were trying to
backyard.
do minors.
No, I don't have any friends that have done minors. Disclaimer. Minor renovations, and then they have these shitty neighbors that'll rat them out if they can't do it. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, you have to
That's
go to the
fucking
city for dumb shit, even though it's your property.
Wow,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
We're not talking about big stuff. We're not talking
No,
about building
no.
a
I'm not
tower.
saying they're putting up
Small
brick.
stuff. Because everyone wants a cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone has to get a piece of the pie.
It's all
Look, guys,
big,
you guys have friends for sure that are working in the construction industry. They're
Yes.
either electricians or plumbers
All of
or
the above.
painter, whatever the hell they are,
Salt of the earth type folk.
or general contractors, whatever. They have such a big problem working in Quebec because of all these regulations, all the
yeah, there's just fucking
paperwork.
paperwork, man.
They have surprise visits from the CCQ on the site. Paper, like the employees have to have their permits. It's so frustrating, and the fees that these guys pay, whether it's to the CCQ, whether it's to the CSST, whether it's to all these things, it's just through the roof bureaucracy that makes it very difficult for these guys to work over here. A lot of them have actually left. They just take contracts in Ontario,
Yeah, and they fuck up.
Hawkesbury, like they just about an hour drive, and they do work over there in the little remote areas of Ontario.
Also, because of the fact that you need to work with people who have their RBQ licenses and their CCQ certifications and all that shit, it makes the pool smaller and allows them to overinflate prices. I'm not saying the contractors are stealing from you, but I'm saying once you have less options, prices tend to go out the fucking window, right? Same thing with like telecommunications when there's a monopoly, right? They control the price.
No,
And
but it's frustrating that for something like, let's say you're good at doing work like that, like construction or whatever, renovations. Like you're good. You're not certified. It's not your profession. You don't have
But
your
you're good at
permit.
it.
But you can put up tiles in your fucking bathroom. Why should you not be able to do that?
I don't know.
bro. I know somebody personally who has made a huge addition to the back of their house. Doesn't even have a high school diploma, bro.
Well,
but
I'm
that's
not going
fine.
to their
But
house.
there, I mean, when you're changing the location certificate of your house, you have to get a permit because you can get in trouble afterwards. Let's say you make an extension to your house, and then in 2 years you sell that house. Technically, you have to provide a location certificate. And if the guy comes over and says, "Okay, what happened here?" Because the last one we had registered in the city or whatever doesn't have this extra room or whatever that you renovated, that you extended, you can get in trouble. You're gonna have to pay fines. You're gonna have to pay whatever cost the permits would have been. It's just.
I have a message here that came in.
Okay.
From someone who needed some stuff done by a contractor here a few days ago. Just the bath installation could take up to 2 days. 125 for a plumber, 65 helper. Anyways, it comes up to the installation. This is the installation of a bath.
A bathtub?
$3,420 plus tax.
Is that including the cost of the bath itself?
No.
It's ridiculous.
That's pretty intense. That seems steep.
That's what we're saying.
My parents
For
did
2
that
days of work?
2 days of work, yeah, it's a racket.
What was it, 6 or 7 months ago? I don't know how long have I been moved out. Anyways, when I moved into my parents' place after I sold my condo, my parents, right before I moved in, they redid my grandparents' bathroom because they're all living in that one apartment. It's really fucking nice.
Bro,
But-
bathtub is like 8 bones, bro.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a small bathroom. It's like half the size of this room, right? It's not like a fucking master bath, you know? It's a shower, a sink, and a toilet, and a shower bathtub, whatever. I think it was like fucking 12 grand. And they didn't do anything crazy. But because of insurance and because it's a duplex, they had to use someone who was certified.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, when I was a kid and we wanted to change stuff upstairs, my dad would do it. I'd help, whatever. He'd yell at me most of the time and I wasn't holding the flashlight, right? But like we would just do it.
I don't see any of that.
That was on Facebook
Jo-
live chat.
Joker's,
Yeah, because we're not. So somebody wrote on Facebook in the live chat that the greatest president ever was Donald Trump. That's because you still haven't seen me in charge of this new federation we're talking about.
That's right.
You know the kind of programs that I'm envisioning. You don't know the kind of unity. You don't know the kind of bombs I'm going to drop.
Speaking of Facebook,
Watch out, Switzerland.
Jay is saying from this Facebook chat, the only reason she needed these permits or these permissionnaire, I guess, is because it's a rental property and people are paying money. Now, I think he's right. It doesn't make it less crazy. Like, tile seems a bit excessive.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Joker's Magnet says it got rid of a lot of bad jobbers, which is a good thing.
Yes.
But, I mean, bro, at some point, like, bro, for tiles, like, calm down,
Like,
bro.
if I want to change the fucking baseboards in here, do I need someone who has the fucking RBQ certification? I just want to fucking change the baseboards.
Yeah, anytime
it's not
you touch
dangerous.
electrical, you need to have an
Not
electrician.
the baseboard heaters, the baseboards, the wood, right? The pichakia.
Okay, the moldings, whatever.
Yeah, whatever they're called.
Phil,
Baseboards.
I give you permission to fix them, but if you do ruin this place, I will charge you $3 million.
I don't have it, so we're just going to have to risk it.
Yeah.
The insurance is through you in this place, so it's not going to cover if I fuck it up.
All right,
they
last piece of news before I leave you guys. Outremont.
I know the neighborhood.
Unaffordable, but my dream location.
Yeah, I love Outremont.
love
yeah,
Outremont.
went to school there. So
yes, you did, you fucking rich
Outremont,
entitled piece of shit.
they passed a regulation at the city hall to completely ban the sale of cannabis on the territory.
Of Outremont.
Now,
Of Outremont.
Outremont. So this
Where a
comes
lot of
obviously-
Hasids getting high.
So this
those
comes
high
basically
seeds.
because the SQDC has been looking
wrong kind
around
of seeds for the
Outremont, set
Hasids.
up,
You feel me?
to set
You
up
feel
a
me?
store, the cannabis store,
Yeah, there is no
I mean,
SQDC in Outremont, eh?
sorry.
There isn't one in Outremont.
There isn't one in Outremont, and because the SQDC had requested the city the permission to establish a store on Van Horn, it got people questioning: should we do it? Should we not do it? It's close to schools.
They should absolutely
any case-
do it. What's the
sorry?
big deal? They should do it. What's the big deal?
Well, they passed they passed it was a vote in the city council to
Say no.
to not allow altogether. Basically, because initially the idea started, okay, let's make some changes into the zoning in which areas so that we can limit the SQDC from not being in certain areas in Outremont and everything. So, which makes sense. I mean, you don't want to maybe close to schools or, whatever.
Man, it must be
parks.
fucking nice to be Outremont where you're running a fucking surplus while the world's caving in, just like TMR.
Oh, is Outremont and TMR? Oh, I like TMR.
TMR, I can confirm that they were running a surplus for years because I lived there. Outremont, I'm pretty sure also. But, like, it must be nice to be able to be like, yeah, no, we don't need revenue. We're good. Suck a dick. Like,
why do you get revenue from the SQDC?
There's business tax, man.
Well, there's taxes.
It's not. Oh shit! I gotta pay my business tax. They sent me a bill here. I forgot.
And I didn't know. I thought that as soon as the Quebec government passed legislation accepting the sale of cannabis, I thought it was fine everywhere, all over the territory. But no, apparently the municipalities have some sort of jurisdiction to decide, certain elements, maybe not, in certain territories or whatever. They have that flexibility. And I didn't know that, but apparently Outremont isn't the only one. Apparently in Mont Royal, they're not allowed. Beaconsfield.
I love that. By the way, I love hearing that. Beaconsfield. It always makes me laugh.
Beaconsfield is cute. It's just so fucking far.
Wait, hold on. So what you're saying is there's a lot of little neighborhoods that are self-governed
that have banned the sale of cannabis. So
I have zero issues with
for
this.
example, has limited the area where it could be. So they played into that zoning that Outremont was talking about doing, but finally they decided, fuck it, altogether we're not doing it.
I love this because the SQDC is big business. It's government run.
Yeah.
This is taking out big business and it's supporting small independent drug dealers. I like this.
Yeah.
So the mayor of Outremont came out and said, listen, first of all, we're in a location so there's so many specific elements about Outremont that it doesn't really impact us, and it gave us this kind of leeway to pass this regulation. The fact that the location that it's at, where people can just order and get it delivered, I mean, it won't be.
It's not an inconvenience.
I think it's kind of I like your joke because I kind of agree with it, taking away from big business and the government, but having an SQ on Van Horn, which is a street which I think is super underutilized commercially, and it's a shame how many businesses have gone bankrupt on Van Horn since the pandemic, and the rents are crazy high. Putting an SQ there's so many fucking walk-in like restaurants that are grab and go. You put an SQ there, you're supporting all those businesses. They're all gonna go eat after.
But again, look, man, you're supporting those businesses
the
anyway.
The city made is that there are so many parks and so many schools in that small whatever I don't know 4 kilometer square radius that the neighborhood has, that they think that, I mean, I have some stats over here. There are 16 schools in that 4 kilometer square territory. I mean, it's a lot of schools, and forget about the parks. And there's a lot of
still can't buy drugs.
Small commercial arteries that are attached to residential properties as well. So it has that kind of specificity in the area where they thought that we don't want this close to whatever residential or school.
I love this, bro. Again, they're supporting small business. I'm good for it. Where do you think those kids are gonna get their weed now?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone is ordering it. They can have it delivered if they want. And that's the argument that they made. They're like, listen, I mean, there are locations, SQDC elsewhere outside of Outremont in less than 2 kilometers that it makes it convenient for people to get it, or they can order it. So there you have it. So Outremont.
No to drugs in Outremont.
So George, I have a couple of questions for you before you go, because you are a learned man, a smart man. Women have described you as ruggedly handsome. Here's my question. We've been preoccupied with, Trudeau in hiding, these mandates being lifted, Joe Rogan dropping a mixtape. We've been preoccupied with all this stuff. How come we have heard zero from the trial of the century, Ghislaine Maxwell's? How come we haven't heard anything about that? These big players, these big players out there have been raping our children, and that is not discussed. And yet Joe Rogan.
But didn't that trial end? I don't know if the verdict is out, but I remember the trial ending and her lawyer saying that they're going to appeal.
Yes, and they said that now she is no longer going to ask for them to hide the names of the Johns.
We talked about this. 2
Yeah,
weeks ago,
and then all we heard was radio silence, except for everyone was on Rogan's ass. They're trying to distract,
they're canceling the jurors now. It says.
I want to know. Poseidon read me some of those names that were on the flight log. Ghislaine Maxwell requests new trial. Alleges juror hid past sexual abuse claims. Oh.
How does that have anything to do with anything? And they're canceling. They're doxing
that
and
does.
deep diving into the jurors now.
But you're allowed, yeah, because that's a mistrial because you're supposed to be impartial as a juror, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not impartial. This is a whole sex crime. If you're a victim of a sex crime, you have only one way about it.
Oh, not that they committed a sex crime.
No, abuse.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
So anywho, he was reading me some of the names on the list, and obviously we know some of the big players already. Clinton, repeatedly, Lolita Express Clinton, Bill Gates, a lot of big players, and it's just swept under the rug. This is scary. This is very, very scary, sir, that we are not digging deeper into this, and yet we're digging deep into Rogan.
You know, look, we spoke about the whole Rogan thing. For me, it's frustrating to see that.
You're frustrated. I got my episode fucking deleted.
I want to know why you specifically were taken down. I wonder.
It must have been the N-word.
No, but that's not what they're going after right now.
It could have been my comments about
misinformation and that kind of stuff.
I did say there should be a
curious to
full-on
know about
assault
that too.
on
Is it
Switzerland.
related to Mike Ward and that whole thing?
Maybe.
Or, 'cause I don't remember you guys saying any profanities.
No,
or
we didn't say anything crazy, dude. It's
No,
all
profanities. There was profanity.
It's all where you fall in the category now. Like they we're considered controversial people because we're pro freedom of speech and shit like that. So just grouped in. Dude, Gad Sad, Malice, who's hilarious and he's logical, was taken down.
Chris
Segura
D'Elia.
episode was taken down.
Chris D'Elia, who's not political in any way.
But Chris D'Elia has the stigma around him now.
Oh, right, yeah.
So that would made a bit more sense. I'm not saying any of us should have gone deleted. I'm just saying.
I remember seeing a few that made zero, like Russell Brand being branded a right-wing extremist all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, now they're gonna go after
Crazy.
Brand for sure because he's
Yeah.
going after CNN.
I don't know if they can really go after Brand. He doesn't seem to give a fuck.
Well, that's what we said about Rogan.
No, but Rogan is in bed with Spotify. They paid him a lot of money to come there, right?
Did you guys see the? Did you guys see? Was it a tweet or I can't remember what it was? Rumble came out publicly and said,
Yeah.
"Listen, man, just bring your shit over here. We got 100 million good reasons for you to."
Yeah, you know what the only problem with that tweet is? Rumble's only worth $75 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been on Rumble? Because I tried to use it yesterday to check it out, and I tweeted at Rumble. I was like, "Look, guys, I want to like the experience, but it feels like a GeoCities
I have invited
website."
the CEO who's in Toronto to come to Montreal for a podcast
Are they
interview.
Canadian-based?
He is.
Oh, interesting.
No, I thought they were American. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm waiting to hear back.
Breaking news from the Beaverton. Trudeau demands protesters stop shutting down city so that he can shut down city.
Yeah, that was the Babylon B.
Oh, Babylon B. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, look, he came back. I mean, he's no longer absent. But I don't know if you guys saw question period
hooray.
yesterday.
He got rattled, bro.
Forget about getting rattled. Obviously, he was expecting to get rattled. But the thing is that the way that the question period is designed, I mean, there's questions that are directed to the leader of the opposition. Her questions are directly directed to Trudeau, so he gets up and he answers. But then when they get to the other people in the opposition, any other minister can answer. Like the prime minister doesn't necessarily have to answer to those questions. He only answers to the leaders of the parties.
Yeah.
And in the middle of a question of, I can't remember who it was in the Conservative Party, Trudeau just gets up and leaves.
Yeah. I saw that yesterday.
Had
So
to
you can't see this happening because the camera is on the guy from the Conservative
But then
Party
everyone
asking
starts
his
booing and
questions.
screaming.
But you hear in the background, Mr. Speaker, he's just leaving. He's just getting up and leaving. What the fuck is he doing? Oh man,
he's making
The guy
a
just
run
got up
for
and
it.
Left.
I kind of
He
like
just
Trudeau's
got up
style
and
now.
left. Question period.
He probably thought he was still wearing the paint and he was camouflaged. So he
Nah,
could slip away.
Trudeau just like, look, I'm clearly not fit to do this. I'm out of here.
He pulled an Irish exit.
Is that an Irish exit? Just getting up and leaving?
Yeah, in the middle
Isn't
of a
that
party.
an every exit?
No, an Irish exit is when you're at a party and
Yeah.
everyone's seen you, and then without saying anything, you just leave.
Oh, I do that all the time.
I mean, it's the only way to leave a party.
Is that what I?
That's
Oh,
the best way to leave a party.
oh, I didn't
Because
know that.
Greek
That
exit is bad. You got to say goodbye to people like 6 times, then you
Yeah,
got to
it takes
stand in the
forever.
door for a
No,
bit.
Grexit is different. Grexit is like, I know I owe you money. I'm out of here.
I'll get you next.
You get everyone to buy you drinks.
Yeah, and then I dip. You like that? The Grexit,
that
baby.
expression.
You
And
like
then I
that?
dip.
You like that?
amazing.
You like that?
That's amazing.
You're welcome, internets.
It's called the goodbye sadly.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Grexit, I think this month Greece is repaying its final, is making its
Yeah.
final payment to the IMF.
The last
Final
debt
payment of
payments,
capital or of interest?
No, I think we're done.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's done. It's the final debt payment. Guys, Greece has come a long way. And we've said it many times. Fucking crazy how different a country can excel with the kind of government that it elects. And huge difference between the populist fake communists or whatever the fuck you want, the radical communists
that we had before,
Syriza, and the conservative government in Greece. I'm not saying this, I'm not sharing my political colors there, but it's just a huge difference. Just the confidence it has instilled in the international investors, and it's a lot.
Yeah,
of things
one is like, we got to build this country. We need to make jobs. We need people to have opportunities. And the other one is like, nah, you don't need to have something. We don't have something anyway. We don't know how to govern this. We're all poor together, so you're technically rich by default.
And the thing that frustrates
Default
is
is the
that
operative
now
word.
that party with the same leader that was prime minister, which is
He wants to run again, yeah.
he's an like. First of all, it's weird that you lost and you're still there. You haven't resigned.
Oh, yeah,
Which-
that's what's weird. Not that he had a referendum that went the opposite
That
of what he
didn't
wanted,
that
and then
didn't
he
respect, I
ignored
know.
it.
Yeah,
But-
that's what these communists do. They don't care what the people vote.
That's a
So
fucking
here's
war
the
crime,
thing.
man. in
He's
my
now
opinion.
in opposition, criticizing what the government is doing, which is pretty much repairing everything that government, the previous government, could not do. I mean, it's so fucking stupid how politics is sometimes,
Isn't it, George?
It is.
Straight from the live chat, apparently Halle Berry threatening to take a movie off of Netflix if Spotify doesn't remove Rogan.
Okay, look, I'll tell you. Not only am I dumb about, I'm pissed off about this fucking
How
stupid.
can she even decide that? Doesn't Netflix have the rights?
Yeah, but yeah,
She can't do shit.
She can't do shit. This is all bullshit. And you know what? If we're gonna start dropping bombs, fuck it. Okay, first of all, Neil Young. Okay, Neil Young, who was upset with Rogan's comments. Right? Remember Neil Young?
Yes.
Remember that guy, people?
He made that
Alright.
song, right?
What song did? Let me tell you what Neil Young said.
Rockin' in a Free World.
Yeah, a very, very free world, huh? All right,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you who Neil Young is. Hey, Poseidon, you want to read this quote from Neil Young?
Yep.
Can he read?
My apologies. You go to a supermarket and you see a faggot behind the fucking cash register. You don't want him to handle your potatoes. I mean, look, it's not wrong.
Hold on. Listen. Listen. What I'm saying is these people are garbage.
When-
These
is this a
people
song
are
lyric?
trash. Huh?
Is this a song lyric?
No, it's not. a song.
Because I'm not familiar with it.
That would have been amazing.
Him and same thing with Sebastian
By the
Bach
way,
and all. They
I
were all
like that
very,
you,
very anti-gay, very gay people will give you AIDS. They have all these stupid shit that they believed in, and these guys are now the arbor of what's good. Get the fuck
Can I
out of here.
just say that it is fucking next level, high concept comedy and protectionary.
And
wait, you didn't read that.
No.
You gave it to him. Of
course.
And he did it.
Yeah. But what? That's not bad. He's just quoting. What is going to be a compilation of his quotes coming out in a couple of years? What are you talking about?
I've been working on it. It's not going to take a few years. It'll take like a few days.
And doesn't Halle Berry...
But why would Halle Berry take something off of Netflix to punish Spotify?
Here's the funnier part about that is you as an actress, you know that if I just clip random shit from your movies and take them out of context, it's not going to look good.
Of course.
Why would it look good for someone else? They're clearly clipped out of context.
Doesn't she have something
hate
better to do,
supercuts.
like cheat on Will Smith, bro?
That's not Halle Berry. What?
What?
Bro, you're confused,
It
dude.
sounded funnier in my head.
That's Jada Pinkett Smith.
I know, but I
Did you
don't know.
mix
I don't-
up the two black
I
guys?
I thought. Never mind.
Bro, shouldn't she be like giving out secret passwords like swordfish or something? There's a better joke. A shit joke, but better than that.
And I like Halle Berry, but
I
god
like Halle
damn
Berry
it, don't
too.
be dumb.
I mean, I don't
It's a cult. At this point, you guys are in a cult. You have to step out of it. You have to realize stop agreeing with everything they say. Use some critical thinking. For example, now with what happened with the Liberals, I have so many friends that they were just thinking, the Liberals in Ottawa, that they were 100% right about these mandates. The truckers were all wrong, all that, because that's what they're being told. And then the second there's a bit of dissidence, quiet. Quiet, like, maybe it was. Why don't you use critical thinking? Use some critical thought. These aren't divine figures. They're human beings. They make mistakes. You have to be able to call them out. We have to move forward as a fucking society.
The whole Neil Young thing, the media spun it. Like I was listening to what was happening as it was happening online, reading tweets, reading some articles that I found. There was the response from Spotify too, where they addressed that what was going on. Then Rogan comes out and apologizes, or kind of, not really. And then I listened to like the same day. I had the radio on as I unplugged my phone, and I was in the parking structure, and I stopped to listen. I think it was Virgin. I'm not sure. Virgin or 92.9, whatever the other one is, the old Q92.
Q92.
And they're basically saying, well, if all the artists start pulling out their music, Spotify is already dipping. Their stock has tanked like crazy. I'm like,
oh my God.
And they made it sound like all these artists together, they have the power to do something. I'm like, what are you fucking saying?
So this is another misconception. Spotify's stock dipped. You know who else's stock dipped?
Everyone.
All of 2022 has been. Look at my portfolio. It's just the way it is.
Garbage.
Everything's been garbage because of the lockdowns.
No house for Phil.
Holy shit! You guys are insane. It's so dumb, bro. It's dumb people telling dumb shit to even dumber people, and then them regurgitating it. Zero critical thought. Let me look at why their stock. Are they the only stock that's dipping? Is every tech stock dipping right now? Every tech stock got destroyed.
Every stock got destroyed.
No, but
Well,
tech,
not every
tech was
stock.
hit hard.
You know,
because-
there's an interesting. I think Ben Shapiro last week spoke about that whole misconception about the stock, and he explained it. He broke it down. He's like, the stock was actually doing bad, and it became better once they acquired Joe Rogan.
Yep.
And then, like these things, these comments on the stock going down. I mean, it has absolutely.
There's no merit in that conversation whatsoever. It's just nonsense. It's a distractionary tactic. That's it.
I love T-Pain said what I had said. He said, in that case, we have to start eliminating all hip-hop music. Yeah. By the way, fun fact, a lot of the hip-hop music that they love dropping the N-bomb, you know, a lot of those lyrics are also written by white people, right? It's not every rapper that writes his own shit.
Of course.
So how far does this go?
Where do you draw your
T-Pain's a
line?
real one.
T-Pain's a real one.
T-Pain's a real motherfucker.
Yeah, one of us.
Meta-
One of us. One of us.
Google gobble. Yeah. Yo, Meta tanked big time? Yeah. Like all other stocks.
Yeah.
Also, Meta had a fucking virtual gang rape.
Okay, you keep talking about
It's
that.
fucking hilarious. That's why, because it doesn't make any sense.
If we keep going down this route, you're going to be alone in the virtual world. Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to say stupid shit like, okay, now so we don't get gang raped, everyone has to be at a super far distance. You're not even allowed to go closer. And then someone's going to do something at a far distance. And then they're going to make up a new rule. Be
Everyone's invisible.
yeah, it's just going to get dumber. Then I'm telling you, the next thing they're going to say
but
is there's going to be a distance. They're going to be like, you can't be within X amount of feet.
Just think about
That's
it.
how idiots, that's how idiots work.
The whole story is weird because it broke from what was it called? Veritas, an Indian news network. That's how it broke, because the lady and the victim, her last name is Patel. I have a feeling they jumped on it so they can be like, oh, Indian diaspora.
But it wasn't.
But it was just a blonde woman. I think her first name is Karen, if I'm not mistaken. Check it out.
Karen Patel.
Karen something Patel. Check it out.
Check what out?
Metaverse gang rape victim. And words I never thought I'd say. So I watched the coverage, and then everyone grabbed it and is like circulating it. But if you read the story, it doesn't really make sense. Because one,
I have the stories. I have to fucking register, bro.
and now they have everyone has a 4-foot personal boundary. Her exact quote.
What do you mean?
Like people
I
can't
still-
come
I
within
still-
4
guys, I
virtual
still
feet
don't
of you.
Oh, they
how
did
the
the wall thing. I
Yeah,
told
they
you, bro.
did,
That's
yeah.
the dumb. These are dumb
I
people.
love how you called it. You
These
didn't
are
even know.
dumb people. I'm telling you guys, you're in the twilight zone. You're in the twilight. I'm not calling this because I'm smart. I have an IQ of 152.
Okay.
Guys, hold on 1 second.
Brag. Fucking guy.
How do you know you're
I'm sorry. I only have an IQ of 152. Fucking asshole.
Seven-
Veron, I
seven
think
and a
Veron,
half
I
over
think
here.
Veron has higher, by the way.
You're like that kid that gets 99. You're like,
It was sarcastic. But no, I think Veron has higher because we took IQ
I
tests
know.
years ago, yeah.
I know
Where'd
it
you-
was
where did you
sarcastic.
take them? On the internet?
It's none of your business, but we took them.
Took in the ass. So this woman said, I didn't know what to do. I was overwhelmed. And when it was over, I took off my headset.
I
Hang
have
on.
the story.
Go ahead.
A woman says that she was virtually gang raped in Facebook's metaverse just
Virtually.
seconds after she stepped into the new virtual world. Within 60 seconds, open quote, within 60 seconds of joining, I was verbally
fast.
and sexually harassed. 3-4 male avatars with male voices essentially, but virtually gang raped.
You don't know how they identify, bitch.
Gang raped my avatar and took photos. Nina
They
Jane
took pictures.
Patel, a 43-year-old
Nina Jane
London-based
Patel,
mother.
Wait, they took photos of what? Of her avatar?
Yeah.
They took. I went in there. They started taking screenshots.
Basically.
Wrote in a December Medium post. That has only just started to attract online attention. As I tried to get away, they yelled, "Don't pretend you didn't love it and go rub yourself off to the photo." It's just trolls, bro.
So fucked. Have
Wait,
you
so
ever
she
seen-
took photos.
No, they took photos.
They took photos.
So then their comment doesn't make sense.
Maybe it saves. I don't know how Horizon
I
Views
don't know.
works. The
It
work.
was surreal, Patel added. It was a nightmare.
So a lot of people.
You know what's a nightmare? Is a bunch of Indians seeing the name Patel and then looking at you. That's
Jane.
shocking.
mean, the Indians have been making news lately.
But she's not Indian.
No,
so
but
that's shocking. The Indians are like, nice, one of us. And they're like, what the fuck is this? And her name is Karen, too. I don't want to jump
See
on
the
board.
diplomat, the Canadian diplomat, the Indian diplomat to Canada who basically called Trudeau out for being a fucking hypocrite. You saw it,
I
right?
told you, bro, my Indian homies are with me.
No.
He comes out and says Justin Trudeau's country is in revolt, basically, and he's saying he will not support the people because he cannot support something like this. Just a year ago, he was advising us officially on how to deal with the farmer strikes. And he was telling us, let them protest. It's their God-given right. He's like, I don't understand. You did not see this clip?
No!
Bro, he ruins him.
India.
I tweeted
India.
it.
India.
The subcontinent for the win, man.
All right, boys, I gotta run.
All right, fuck off.
All right, we're going to get out of here in a minute, too, G.
George
so, guys,
has a bunch of podcasts you
look.
might want to check out.
Before we close, check out George. He's got a podcast called Just Us Dads. It's a podcast where him and a bunch of other daddies
Put
get
your
together
tits
and
away.
discuss what it's like raising children in the metaverse. All of his children are being homeschooled, and a digital teacher teaches them what to do.
What?
It's very avant-garde, very progressive. And also, he does not refer to any of his kids by their gender of birth. They are all gender neutral.
Thing one and thing two.
It is the future. Get used to it. Thank you, G. The links are in the description. Phil Balabanos,
Hello.
another gender neutral supporter. Phil
are we
Balabanos can
ending the
make
show?
commercials. Commercials for you. We call them propaganda films. He's made many a propaganda film for many a corporations.
I have.
Phil can make one for you, not you though, because racial bias. So check out the links in the description. Phil can make a very affordable commercial for you. By affordable, I mean at his rates. Affordable for the high end.
I think you just
Because
leave it there.
some people might get upset with his prices. But I'm telling you, the quality and the price don't match. What you're paying and what you're getting
George,
is
help me.
completely different. So you're paying this amount. Look where my hand's at. But what he's giving you is this amount
okay.
over the
That's
top.
what you're
It
saying.
is absurd. It is absurd the value in this guy's
hate you
pricing.
so much.
He does not know how to price himself. I guarantee you he's losing money on every gig. But
probably true.
But what do you want me to tell you? He's a nice guy. He likes giving his skills away for less than what they're worth. Take advantage until his wife realizes what he's doing and he's bad at business. Take advantage of him right
Still
now.
going.
Balabanos.com. Links are in the description.
Fill My Hole is going live in 15 minutes.
New episode of Fill My Hole drops at noon. You heard it here first,
Hold
or
on to
perhaps
your
second.
asses.
The Poseidon69 over the producer, The Poseidon69 on Twitter, on Instagram, The Poseidon69 on Twitch, twitch.tv/The Poseidon69. Plus, he's got his own podcast called In Bed with Poseidon, and we're working on a new podcast for him. In Bed with Poseidon is probably going to be going the way of the dinosaurs.
Shelved.
Extinct soon. Shelved. And
Does
a new podcast from its ashes will rise. Patreon.com/Pantelis. Also, The Intellectuals on weekly, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. on this very channel. Join the chat over there for the premiere. You can talk. Are you drinking my water?
I'm offering you water so you have it when you're ready.
I don't know
You're
why
done.
you're distracting me. I'm
I
on
like to
fire.
distract you. I
right
wanna
here. This guy's
fucking ruin it.
fucking Poseidon.
He was on a roll, bro.
I know.
As a producer,
I don't
is
want
he
the
not?
role.
As a producer, is that not horrible?
I will give you a pimp slap.
Excellent. Patreon.com/Pantelis. PantelisComedy.com. Follow my stuff. Thank you guys. New episode 2, Drink a Minimum at noon. Everywhere. Hey guys, and go fuck yourselves.